People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you People's State Bank and Grant Regional Health Center coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Faust Electric, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Bytech Incorporated, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Claire Bank, Donnie's Tire and Auto, Fuller's Milker Center, Gary's Pest Control, Community First Bank, Guy's Truck and Tractor Service, Hernson's Ace Hardware, Krantz Auto Parts, the Peterson Agency, the Raleigh Cheese House, Mound City Bank, the Russell Law Office, the Shoebox, Sloan Implement, Timmerman's Talents, Tricor Insurance, and Wolf Construction.
For the first time in 2025, it is game day in Lancaster. Friday night football here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel as we begin the 2025 high school football season for 11-player football on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. Tonight, the Lancaster Flying Arrows take on the Belleville Wildcats in a non-conference matchup and a rematch of last season's sectional championship matchup. This is Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. From the Ayers Furniture Best Seat in the House broadcast booth, I'm Tyler Dictanis, joined alongside our coach, Scott Tolzman. Scott, great to be working with you again this football season, and a very interesting matchup between these two teams. As we mentioned, Lancaster and Belleville met in the Level 3 or sectional championship game a season ago, 35-32. Belleville got the upset win in what had been a Cinderella run for Belleville, finishing the regular season strong and getting all the way one game away from a appearance at Camp Randall Stadium. And for Lancaster, reaching level 3 for the second consecutive year, but falling short of getting beyond that point and trying to turn their attention and get things right to go beyond level 3 this year.
Yeah, Belleville got hot towards the end. You know, they kind of got into the playoffs towards the end, and I do believe their record was 5-4 when they got in last year, and they made it all the way to the state semifinals. With the upset over Lancaster, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Belleville graduated some of the key starters from last year, and so did Lancaster. So it's a good test for both teams to find out where they stand after what they did and accomplished last year.
Yeah, more specifically for Lancaster, kind of an interesting scenario for them where, you know, two of the top teams in the conference, Prairie du Chien and Platteville, a lot of changes in those programs, new head coaches and some key players from both of those programs out of the picture. Lancaster returns quite a bit as far as the skill players and even some along the line. And, you know, maybe almost by default, at least in my opinion, Lancaster might be the lead horse heading into this 2025 campaign for the SWC, but with 5 head coaching changes in the conference, things kind of seem up in the air, really.
It does. I still think Prairie has got a pretty good group of kids, but new coach, probably a new system. So it takes a little bit to learn. Lancaster, with a lot of their kids coming back that got to see a lot of playing time last year. Same system, same coach. It does give them the upper hand. I see the picture coming down to between Lancaster and Prairie for the championship, followed by probably Platteville, and then it's going to be a toss-up. After that, I don't know. Richland Center is improved. I do believe Dodgeville is going to be improved. Valley should be improved. So it could be a toss-up for those next few spots.
Yeah, and I think for Belleville coming into this game, want to get off to a better start than they did. They went 1-5 to begin the season before going on that run to just sneak into the postseason, and getting a rematch against a team that they beat in the postseason last year, and being the last remaining SWAL team in the postseason at that. You have to think that momentum has to carry over somewhat into this season and give some motivation for these returning players to try and punch their ticket to Camp Randall this year.
Yes, it does. It definitely helps going into the off season. Winter and spring and those workouts, and then get into the summer workouts, and with the new rule change where the coaches can work with the kids pretty much all summer long, there's a lot more excitement in the air just due to the fact that the coaches have been around the kids pretty much all summer long.
It should be a fun matchup. Looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. Lancaster and Belleville coming up in just a little bit. But coming up on our Rally Cheese pregame show, we'll talk with both head coaches. Had a chance to catch up with Jordan Rolland of Lancaster and Mike Nolden of Belleville. Able to ask them about the players on the Russell office's injury report. If you've been injured, contact Russell offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. We'll also get you the People's State Bank coin toss, our Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups, Cuba City Family Dental colors of the game, Dewey's Tire Repair turf and weather report, and more as we close out on the kickoff between Lancaster and Belleville in non-conference action in week number 1 of the high school football season. Our Rally Cheese pregame show is presented by Rally Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 1.
Brownfield Ag News has a new podcast that focuses on the latest advancements and breakthroughs in the agricultural sector. This weekly podcast features interviews about cutting-edge technologies, practices, and research that are transforming farming and food production. Each episode delves into the latest developments in the field, offering insights into how new innovations are reshaping farming, improving efficiency, and addressing global challenges. The program aims to keep agricultural professionals, researchers, and enthusiasts informed about the rapidly evolving field of agriculture. By highlighting new technologies and practices, it helps listeners stay ahead of industry trends and make informed decisions about adopting innovations in their own work. The Innovations in Agriculture podcast is available in the Agra America podcast directory or wherever you get your podcasts.
Pregame 1.
Back on the Rally Cheese pregame show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lancaster taking on Belleville in tonight's high school football matchup in week 1. We're joined by Lancaster head coach Jordan Rolland. Coach, thanks for joining us. Coming off another season where you reached level 3 again in the postseason, falling to Belleville 35-32 in a really back and forth game last season, but again reaching level 3 for the second consecutive year, in the mix in the SWC in back-to-back years. When you look at the 2024 season, had to overcome some adversity with injuries and had to adjust things offensively and defensively, but got some great buy-in from your players as they were able to make those adjustments on the field as well. What do you take away from the 2024 team, and how does that carry over into this year's team?
I think we kind of learned some things. That was kind of one of like the fastest teams we'll probably have, and then the injuries kind of happened, and then we had to kind of go back to our roots of running more triple option instead of some spread stuff. That's probably one of the better skill position groups with the quarterback. So we came into the season thinking we're gonna be able to throw on people, and we did a little bit. Nolan broke, I think, almost every school record we had in a single season. He had a great year, but then once you lose a kid or two, you have to go kind of back to, high school football where you have to be able to run, and you have to stop the run. And I think that's something that really, we kind of knew that, but then that was really drove home in the playoffs last year. It's like we had to be able to run the ball better, and we had to stop the run better. And I think that was a point of emphasis this year from what we took away from last year's team.
Yep, and looking at the starting lineup that you're going to be running with here this evening, a lot of familiar names in the starting lineup. Talk about what you've seen from those returning starters and the improvement that you've seen from last year heading into this season.
Well, I think the seniors, every year seniors take a big step forward. I think this group's no different. I think, up front, Preston and Brady Lounger have really taken big steps forward in just leadership, knowing what to do, being physical, that kind of stuff. Getting Taylor Williams back on the edge. We lost him last year in the early part of the year, so that's going to be a big help. And then I think Aiden Wilson and Dane Kaufman have really taken steps up on the offensive side of the ball, blocking for each other. Just kind of whole team buy-in that we're going to be a physical team that tries to block for each other while we're running. Not that we're not going to throw, but it's just important for all 11 guys to be blocking. And then on defense, kind of the same thing. The focus is to stop the run and get into some nickel packages to make them one-dimensional. And I think guys have really stepped forward there too. And a lot of seniors are playing both ways tonight. You're going to see a lot of seniors on both sides of the ball and special teams.
All right, Jordan Rowland with us at our Raleigh Cheese pregame show, getting ready for Belleville and Lancaster. Our Russell office's injury report, obviously over the summer months, always a bit concerning. You want to make sure that all the players are in good condition and healthy heading into the season. What's the health status of the team heading into week one after the first few weeks of practice?
We're pretty healthy. We kind of lost one at the scrimmage. We lost Trayson Fishnick. We don't know how long that one's going to be to an injury. He's probably one of our, if not our best D lineman, one of our best. He played last year as a freshman in the playoffs and, was a starter last year. That was a big piece to our D line on a pretty inexperienced D line, and he was one that was coming back, a big kid, strong kid. But other than that, we're pretty healthy.
All right, excellent. And then our Rosemeyer Wealth Management keys to the game, taking on Belleville. Obviously, they ended your season in the Level 3 round, the sectional championship last year, but it's going to be a bit of a different makeup as far as their team coming into this game as well. Are there things that you can kind of take away X's and O's from last year to carry over into this game, and what are some of the expectations and things you're looking for in game number one?
They've been, the last few years, they've been always a pretty balanced team, running and passing. So we, like I kind of, hinted earlier, we have to stop the run tonight to make them one-dimensional so we can get our pass defense personnel on the field. So first and second down are going to be very important to stop the run and kind of put them behind the chains so we kind of so they're a little more predictable because they're very balanced. He's always been a tough guy to predict what he's going to do. And then just staying disciplined. They've hit us with a trick play or a big special teams play just because we kind of have a mental breakdown or something like that. So being very disciplined on special teams and defense, and then just establishing the run on offense are kind of the keys to the night.
All right, excellent. Should be a fun game. We're looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Have some fun. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Jordan Rowland, head coach of the Lancaster Flying Arrows, and we'll have more on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 2.
Hello, Ben here from Darlington Family Dental. Your smile is as important to us as it is to you. Give us a call and schedule a consultation to figure out if clear aligners might be right for you. The consultation is free. Zero interest financing is available. This solution for your smile might be more cost-effective than you think. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Get the long-lasting power you need with Energizer. Menards has the largest in-stock selection of Energizer batteries. They provide solid power for flashlights, remotes, and so much more. Right now, save big on Energizer batteries. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Pregame 2.
Back on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Belleville and Lancaster to kick off high school football in this Friday night matchup. We're joined now by Belleville head coach Mike Nolden. Coach, thanks for joining us. Got to see you guys against Lancaster in the sectional championship game, or level 3, last year, where your team came away with a 35-32 win to get to the doorstep of going to state in Division 6 football. And who would have thought, with the way the season played out, Belleville, the last team standing in the SWAL in the postseason last year. When you look at the start of the season, started off winless, but went on a huge run to end the regular season to get into the postseason. Take us through what that ride was like now that you've time to reflect on the successes of last season.
Yeah, like you said, it was kind of a weird start to the beginning of the season last year. We lose the first game by 1. Ultimately, because just one little mental mistake kind of cost us, and then we lose week 2 by 3. That was more of a coaching issue by me. We lose that game. And then, we just play a couple tough teams, and, they're 14 to 18-year-old kids, momentum, the mental part can kind of play, but we just told them, just keep believing, guys. And, we got favorable matchups early in the playoffs that we were confident with, and kids they did start to believe, and, things started to click at the right time, really. And, like I said, the momentum, however people feel about that, I think that's a big thing. And, obviously the level 3 game, we got a couple things to go our way. We get a big kick return for a touchdown. We hit a trick play for a touchdown. Those things aren't going to happen every week, but that's just one of those belief things that every week they can happen. But again, they're not going to, but you don't know when those plays can affect games. And we were lucky enough to have them go our way in the playoffs and last year. So.
Yep, and looking at, the makeup of this team, seeing a lot of familiar names in the starting lineup from last year's team, how much of it is carrying momentum and things from last season into this year, and how much of it is just, kind of establishing a new identity and doing some new things heading into game number 1?
Yeah, our senior leadership has been awesome for the first 2 weeks of the season. And those are the guys that are really kind of extra motivated, that want to play at Camp Randall this year and know that we were one game away last year. And ultimately in that state semifinal game, we didn't play our best. And, those senior guys feel like if we play our best every week, that we've got a chance to get back there. So they're highly motivated. But we also know that Lancaster is going to be very highly motivated because we were the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. So, the mental part of it this week is we just got to be locked in every play and execute every play. And our seniors have been doing a great job, even this week, just preparing. So hopefully, that carries over into Friday night.
All right, Mike Nolden with us on our Raleigh Chiefs pregame show, getting ready for Belleville at Lancaster. Our Russell office's injury report. What's the team health looking like heading into game number 1? Obviously, coming out of the summer months, you hope that everyone's in shape and condition and ready to go. What's the health status heading into game number 1?
We're as healthy as we can be. We one injury for one of our seniors that carried over from spring track. But other than that, we're totally healthy. Everybody's going to be full go this week.
All right, excellent. Good to hear. And then the Rosemeyer Wealth Management key to the game, obviously taking on Lancaster again. They return quite a few players as well in their starting lineup, and kind of a weird season in their own right last year. They kind of had to adjust their offensive scheme due to injuries and things of that sort. Are there things that you can take from last year's matchup to carry into this game? And then what's going to be the key for the Belleville Wildcats in game number 1?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest key, offensively, I think every week is how we got to be able to take care of the ball, finish drives. We got to be able to run the ball. That's what kind of got us through the playoffs. And the key defensively is, hey, their fullback, running back kid there is going to be really good. He kind of did some damage against us in the playoffs. How can we slow him down and make somebody else beat us? And can we get a couple takeaways?
It should be a fun matchup. We're looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Have some fun and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Mike Nolden, head coach of the Belleville Wildcats, and we'll have more on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Ready Feed and Grain invites you to their Chipper Day, Tuesday, August 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Stitzer. Join WGLR Farm Director Bob Mittendorf for crop updates throughout the day. Rock River Labs and Southwest Tech will provide moisture analysis, so farmers bring in your corn stalks to be tested and enjoy a delicious lunch from Southwest Wisconsin pork producers. Chipper Day at Ready Feed and Grain in Stitzer, Tuesday, August 26th.
It's harvest time, and Scenic Rivers Energy Co-op reminds you to be safe on the farm with this helpful tip. Be careful not to raise any equipment such as ladders, poles, or rods into power lines. This safety tip from Scenic Rivers Energy Co-op.
In Game 1.
Tonight's national anthem by the Lancaster Marching Band, the color guard now leaving the field as well as we close in on the kickoff between Belleville and Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tyler DeTanis and Scott Tolson with you, broadcasting from the Ayers Furniture Best Seat in the House in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home. For what's sure to be the best seat in your house, be sure to visit Ayers Furniture and AyersFurniture.com. Let's set up the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. And actually, before we get to that, the People's State Bank coin toss. Did we catch who won the toss?
Belleville's going to receive, and Lancaster's going to kick off.
All right, so Belleville will begin on offense. So we'll set up the Belleville offensive starters. Again, last year 7-7 on the campaign, 4-3 in the SWAL, and reached the state semifinal round last year. Their starting lineup goes like this: at quarterback number 11, Raiden Taylor, and at running back number 5, Trey Myers. A 4 wide receiver set for the Belleville Wildcats tonight, led by number 8, Cooper Nemec, and number 1, Kason Hellwig. Also alongside number 15, Charlie Spiegel, and number 12, Tyler Miyamoto. The offensive lineman for Belleville, number 57, Garrett Pauley, number 50, Aiden Knox, number 61, Broderick Goebel, number 52, Hazian Edmond, and number 69, Isaac Patro. And for the Lancaster defense, along the defensive line, the defensive ends, number 4, Brady Muldoon, and number 23, Brady McCartney. And the interior lineman, number 55, Brady Lowinger, and 71, Wyatt McLean. Also rotating along that line, number 99, Austin Addison, number 69, Michael Kruel, and number 22, Declan Clark. The linebacking crew, number 70, Preston Clemens, number 0, Toy Raggets, and number 60, Jackson Seipel. Also rotating in, number 18, Marshall Wiest. The defensive backs, number 1, Taylor Williams, number 3, Dane Kaufman, number 16, Brody Krubel, and number 13, Lucas Weber. We'll also see number 11, Aiden Wilson, from time to time on the defensive backfield. Those are the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups for when Lancaster is on offense. Brought to you by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. Our Cuba City Family Dental colors of the game. Brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Lancaster in their blue jerseys with blue pants, the yellow helmets with yellow numbers, and the arrow logo on the left and right side of the helmet. Belleville in their white jerseys with white helmets with a blue stripe along the backside, blue numbers, and blue stripes on the shoulder pads. Those are the colors of the game, brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Our touchdowns tonight brought to you by Northland Buildings. Our extra points brought to you by Point and Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. And we are set to kick things off as Toy Raggett swings the leg and sends it back. And this will be fielded but lost by number 24, Jesse Muschinger. And Belleville will take possession.
They'll take the possession at the 20-yard line. The ball went in the end zone. In high school, once the ball crosses the goal line, it becomes dead. So it's a touchback.
All right, so it's not a fumble into the back of the end zone. It is a touchback, so Belleville will begin at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10, ball spotted right in the middle of the field. A 4 wide receiver set. 2 receivers split out to each side of the formation as number 11, Raiden Taylor, out of the shotgun, and he's going to keep it right away. Gets across the 30, still on his feet at the 35, and taken down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 19 yards on the first play for a scrimmage for Belleville. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on a Big Iron Realty first down. Football touching the 39-yard line, near side hash mark. As Belleville comes to the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers again to each side of the formation. Taylor out of the shotgun, the running back Trey Williams lined up to his left. Now slot receiver from the left side goes in motion, that's Cooper Nemec. Now goes back to his position. Here's the snap, drop back to pass, pressure coming, throw over the middle, passes through the fingertips and incomplete. Taylor Williams had that one there, but it bounced off his fingertips, incomplete. Near disaster for Belleville and a missed opportunity for Lancaster. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Belleville Wildcats.
Yes, well defended. It just has kind of butter on his fingers, and the ball went right through. Would have been a perfect interception just about midfield.
2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line. 3 receivers bunched to the right side as Taylor gives it inside to number 5, Trey Myers, and Myers is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. I believe Toy Raggett's the first one there to make the tackle. Sets up 3rd and long for Belleville. So Belleville gets an explosive play to begin, but now facing 3rd and long with 11:08 to go in the first quarter. Still the first possession, 4th play of this drive. Ball is just short of the 40-yard line, so we'll call it a gain of 1. And it looks like a quick equipment adjustment for a couple Lancaster players, and they'll go back to the line of scrimmage. Clock now winds with 11:05 to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Trey Myers to the left side of quarterback Raiden Taylor. Taylor takes a snap, looking to his right, fires a pass on the slant, and the pass is incomplete. Pass behind his intended receiver, number 12, Tyler Miyamoto. And it will be 4th and long for Belleville. They'll punt this one away. Get a big play to begin the drive, but then 3 straight plays resulting in a net of 1-yard gain. And now Lancaster has 2 players back to return. Number 1, Taylor Williams, and number 13, Lucas Weber. Now Cooper Nemec punting this one. This one popped up sky high and just barely clears the 50-yard line. Takes a big bounce for Belleville, and the ball will be downed at the Belleville 38-yard line. And now the Lancaster offense will take the field for their first possession of the game with 10:40 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, shanked punt only goes about 20 yards, so it really gives Lancaster some good field position to start the game with.
Starting lineup for the Lancaster Flying Arrows on our Fuller Smucker Center starting lineups. At quarterback, number 0, Toy Raggett's a sophomore. Was 4 of 8 passing for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns in 6 games of action in relief of Nolan Wolf last year. And on the ground, 4 attempts for 13 yards. But the running back in the backfield, number 28, Nolan Hankey, 889 yards in just 6 games. As Raggett takes the first snap and a pitch out to Dane Kaufman. Now a reverse to Williams. And Raggett's looking deep downfield, and the receiver is wide open. Aiden Wilson, instant touchdown for the Arrows. A lot of trickeration for the Arrows right out of the gate, and Aiden Wilson on the receiving end of a big touchdown pass. 6-0 Arrows on the Northland Buildings touchdown.
Nice double reverse, pitch back to the quarterback, and the receiver's all by himself.
And we'll see if the Arrows decide to go for two, as Raggets will duck under center. One back in the backfield, and a flag before the snap. And they're going to say an encroachment on Belleville, so the ball goes from the 2 to the 1 yard line on the 2-point conversion attempt. You had to imagine, Scott, they rehearsed that play time and time again,
Yes.
all practice leading up. That was perfectly executed.
And what it did was show all the other teams that they'll face that they have to spend time on that play, practice to defend it, and you might not even see it again the rest of the year from Lancaster.
Yeah, Baden Wilson, the lone receiver to the right side. Everyone else bunched up at the line. Raggets takes a snap, trying to push the ball across the goal line. And did they say the ball came loose? They're going to say the 2-point conversion is no good, so the score remains 6-0. Lancaster on top of Belleville on
61 yard.
One play, 61 yards. My, oh my, what a start to this game, Scott.
Yes, it is.
All right, so that touchdown again, a Northland Buildings touchdown. The point flush extra point was no good. And on our shoebox scoreboard, 6-0 Lancaster on top of Belleville. We'll get the ensuing kickoff in just a moment. Earlier, we had our first Pink's penalty of the game, brought to you by Pink's Automotive. And our game tonight also brought to you by Mount City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. And Rural Mutual agents John Raggets and Dean Dahl with Raggets and Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster.
We have an injury right now on the field. I think it's 50. Could be 56 or 50. I can't quite see the second number.
If it's 56, that'd be Gabe Wagner, a freshman, who is the starting left tackle for Lancaster. And looks like it's a cramp, which, you know, you kind of expect those at this point in the season.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer tonight than it was last night. We actually got through the whole game with only one cramp last night down in Belmont.
Yeah, actually, it's number 60, Jackson Seipel, the leading tackler returning for Lancaster from last year. 101 tackles on his stat line last year. And he's going to get some assistance from teammates to get back to the sideline. And, yeah, he can't put any weight on that left leg, it looks like. So you don't want to see that early on in the season, as Coach Jordan Rollin out there with them as well, as they come back to the Lancaster sideline, and we'll pick up the action once he's able to be tended to on the Arrows sideline. 6-0 the score. Lancaster on top of Belleville with 10:29 to go in the first quarter. Belleville punted after 4 plays on their first possession, and Lancaster had the ball at their own 39-yard line and cashed in on a 61-yard touchdown reception from Toy Raggets to Aiden Wilson with some trickery along the way. I believe there was 2 laterals and a double pass all kind of thrown in there. As Raggets will tee it up for the Arrows and kick it from right to left, as you see it here from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth and as you see it on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Hopefully just twisted the ankle and got a little numb on him.
Got the training team tending to him as Raggets gets the kick away and takes a bounce at the 15-yard line and will be fielded by Cooper Nemec. And Nemec going along the right sideline, tiptoes out of bounds across the 30, about the 32, but there is a Pink's penalty flag at the 32-yard line. We'll see what this one's about.
It's probably going to be a block in the back.
It looks like it's against Belleville, so that will move the ball back. 10:24 to go. in the first quarter. Our game tonight brought to you by Community First Bank. For you in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC.
Yeah, it was a block in the back. We'll move it back to the 30-yard line, or excuse me, the 20-yard line.
Yep, nose of the football touching the 21 on the right side hash mark. As Raiden Taylor takes a snap, gives inside to Myers, and Myers trying to bounce it to the left side, but there's a swarm of arrows there to make the tackle. Not a lot of running room. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. See number 12. Wyatt Schwantes in on the tackle. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Actually, I beg your pardon, that might have been Lucas Weber, number 13. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, quickly to the line of scrimmage for Belleville. 2nd and 10. And Myers gets it again, bounces it to the left side, has some room, gets across the 25 before being chased down at about the 27. Nice gain there of about 7 yards and should be about 3rd and 3, maybe 4, depending on the spot. And Belleville quickly to the line of scrimmage again. Going no huddle, but taking their time now getting that to the line.
Now Belleville was able to get to the outside, stretched the Lancaster defense, left them a little bit short on one side.
3rd and 3 at the 27-yard line, far side hash mark this time. Kieler gives inside to Myers. Myers diving forward. He's close to the first down marker. We'll see where they spot the football.
I think he's got it. He's over the line.
And the down marker still says 3rd down. I think the officials are going to measure this one out. The ball did just barely cross the 30, but it might be, it'll be very close. Might have it by the nose of the football from our vantage point. We'll see what the chains have to say. While the chain game comes up, we'll tell you that our game brought to you by the dental office located in Lancaster, Wisconsin. The dental office is a trusted name for high-quality family dental care, proud to be the preferred provider of dentistry in Lancaster, Wisconsin. And by the nose of the football, a first down for the Belleville Wildcats at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, that's a Big Iron Realty first down. Same 4 wide receiver set that we've seen from Belleville tonight. 2 receivers to each side. The running back, Trey Myers, lined up to the left side of quarterback Raiden Taylor. Taylor takes a snap, fakes it inside, and a quick pass to the near side, and a big-time hit by Toy Raggets. Taking down Trey Myers after the reception. And that was a big, nice open field tackle there by Raggets to keep Myers in check. Loss of yardage on the play. Ball at the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 12. Like Raggets showing the legs and closing in real quick to make that tackle for a loss.
Yeah, he came up quick and filled, and textbook wrap-up tackle.
2 receivers to each side of the formation again. As Myers lined up to the right side. Taylor fires over the middle. Pass is intercepted by Lucas Weber at the Belleville 40-yard line. So Lucas Weber telegraphing that pass. Pulls it in for the interception. We have our first Lancaster Dental and Fenimore Smiles turnover. 1st and 10 for the Arrows in Belleville territory. Lancaster takes possession with 8:09 to go in the first quarter, up 6-0. Football is at the Belleville 38-yard line. Toy Raggets under center. 3 receivers bunched to the right side. 1 receiver lined up to the left. Nolan Hinkey splitting his way out of the backfield. Quick pass to the far side. It's caught by Taylor Williams. Has some blockers on the far side. Across the 35 to the 30 to the 25 before being chased down across the 20-yard line, and should be a stop in the Bitech green zone to the Lancaster Flying Arrows. A greener way. Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. Nice little bubble screen and great blocking downfield as the Arrows showing speed early on in this game offensively. Football's at the 17-yard line. Gain of 21 on the play. Hayden Wilson, the receiver, split out wide to the left. 3 receivers bunched to the right side. Raggets under center again. Gives inside to Hankey, and Hankey busts his way through across the 10, taking defenders with him into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. 17-yard touchdown run for Nolan Hankey, and the Arrows extend their lead 12-0 with 7:37 to go in the first quarter. And we'll see if the Arrows will try and go for the extra point or go for two, and it looks like Brady Muldoon is injured for the Arrows at the goal line. Second injury already for the Arrows, and that would be another big one. Brady Muldoon lines up as both a wide receiver and a tight end. And actually, while we have a chance, let's finish setting up the Lancaster offense as they scored on one play in their last possession. Mentioned Toy Rankinson and Nolan Hankey, the receivers for the Arrows. Number 1, Taylor Williams. Number 3, Dane Kaufman. Number 11, Aiden Wilson. And number 4, Brady Muldoon. And the linemen from left to right, number 56, Gabe Wagner. Number 70, Preston Clemens. 71, Wyatt McLean. Number 60, Jackson Seipel. And number 55, Brady Lowinger. The defensive starters for Belleville tonight, number 69, Isaac Patro. Number 50, Aiden Knox. And number 52, Hazy and Edmond complete the three-down defensive line. The 5 linebackers in the lineup, number 1, Kason Helwig. Number 11, Raiden Taylor. Number 26, Marcus Hebgen. Number 4, Jackson Fay. And number 5, Trey Myers. And the secondary, the cornerbacks, number 8, Cooper Nemec, and Jackson Fay, and the safety, number 20, Caden Myers. It looks like Brady Muldoon will get assistance from some teammates as well.
They were looking at the calf just below the knee, so it could be a cramp. Hopefully it's just a cramp and nothing else.
But the good news for the Arrows is that they've cashed in on touchdowns in their first 2 possessions, but also they've had injuries in both their first 2 possessions. So,
yeah, you can't afford that.
Scores 12-0 with 7:37 to go, and the Arrows are going to line up for the 2-point conversion. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, as Hankey is in the slot on the left side. And now the officials will blow the whistle. Now Raggett's out of the shotgun. Raggett's with the snap, looking to his right, fakes it, now decides to take off and gets across the goal line, and the 2-point conversion is good. That will extend the Arrows' lead to 14-0. Those are point and flush 2 extra points. And the Arrows have a 14-0 lead on the Belleville Wildcats with 7:37 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a timeout and come back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 2.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to protecting your home, your roof is your first line of defense. For trusted local roofing expertise, turn to Midwest Roofing and Construction. They're dedicated to providing quality roofing services from minor repairs to complete replacements all year long. Count on their experienced team for reliable workmanship. Call for a free estimate at 1-800-551-8251. That's 1-800-551-8251. Midwest Roofing and Construction, your local roofing pros.
In Game 2.
Arrows with a 14-0 lead, and off the kickoff, Cooper Nemec takes it off a reverse and gets it across the 25, close to the 30-yard line, maybe the 28, depending on the spot. 1st and 10 coming up for the Belleville Wildcats. 7:31 to go in the first quarter. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolson with you from the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Lancaster cashing in on touchdowns in both of their first 2 possessions. Belleville trying to find something offensively here with 7.5 minutes to go in the first. 4 wide receiver set, and ball is lost on the snap, and diving on it is Raiden Taylor. I didn't know if he was trying to hand off and just lost the handle, but there is also a Pink's penalty flag on the ground. We'll see what that's about, unless they picked it up.
That was a beanbag.
Oh, the beanbag. There we go.
Marking the fumble.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 as Raiden Taylor avoiding near disaster for the Wildcats. You don't want to give the Arrows a 3rd possession. That's close and this deep into Belleville territory. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And Myers, the running back, lined up to the left of Taylor. And now a Pink's penalty flag coming in from the Lancaster sideline, and they're going to say offsides on the Arrows.
Yep.
So 5 free yards given on that Pink's penalty. Tonight's game brought to you by West End Salvage of Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Cranston, the West End Salvage team for recycling, as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. So after the Pink's penalty, 2nd and 5. At the Belleville 32-yard line, ball spotted right in the middle of the field. 2 receivers again to each side. Myers, the running back, lined up to the left of Taylor. Taylor takes a snap. Fakes it inside, but Taylor takes off across the left side, across the 40, and the 45 before being wrestled to the ground by Taylor Williams on the far side of the field at about the 47. More than enough for a Big Iron Realty first down. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
16-yard run, first down.
And our first down is brought to you by Big Iron Realty. If you have livestock, farmland, or buildings to sell, call Daryl Krapp at Big Iron Realty. Visit bigiron.com to learn more.
Sets up Belleville on their own 47.
All spotted on the left side hash mark. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Myers, the running back, to the left side of Taylor. Taylor puts a receiver in motion from right to left. And a give inside to Myers. And Myers trying to spin away from his defender, but no go there as Preston Clemens, the first one there to make contact, holds him to a minimal gain, maybe to the line of scrimmage. And they'll give him forward progress for a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Ball now at the 48-yard line. Our game tonight brought to you by Northland Buildings. For a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. 3 receivers again to the right side of the formation. Myers lined up to the right side of Taylor this time. Now the slot receiver for the left side goes in motion, but a give inside to Myers, and Myers gets through the line and into the second level, across the 50 into Lancaster territory to about the 48-yard line, calling about a gain of 5. Should set up about 3rd and 4. Again, a big possession here, Scott, for Belleville, already down 2 scores, 14-0 with 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Feels like the momentum completely on the Arrow side, but Belleville trying to chip their way away at this. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now Taylor looking for some room on the right side, trying to bounce it out, but the Arrows are closing in quickly as Dane Kaufman able to chase him out of bounds at the 50-yard line for a loss of 2. We'll call that a Subs.com sack as Dane Kaufman and Toy Raggets tag teaming on the tackle. Loss of 2, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Lancaster really got that defense to string that play right out, and the quarterback had no place to go. It's going to force Belleville to punt. But they are on the other side of the 50, so it could be a fake here.
And Cooper Nemec lined up to punt. Lucas Weber set to return for the Arrows. And Nemec gets a sideways punt. This is a much better punt than his last one, and Lucas Weber calls fair catch at the Lancaster 19-yard line. So Lancaster takes possession with 5:26 to go in the first quarter, leading 14-0. And a golden opportunity for the Arrows to get that infamous third score to potentially take a huge lead early in this ball game. Tonight's game brought to you by Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. 1st and 10 for the Lancaster Flying Arrows. Ball spotted just off the middle of the field. One receiver to the left, 3 to the right. Raggets under center. And a give inside to Nolan Hankey, and Hankey is stonewalled at the line of scrimmage as the defensive line able to get their way through. Trey Myers in on the contact to make the tackle.
Yeah, Belleville's front line drove Lancaster's line back, and Hankey had no place to go.
Jackson Fay in on the tackle as well.
Loss of a yard in that play.
Brings up 2nd and 11. Our game today also brought to you by Claire Bank with 3 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, when they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. 3 wide receiver set to the left side this time for the Arrows on 2nd and 11. Raggets dropping back to pass, rolling to his left, looking for Dane Kaufman, and Kaufman loses concentration and drops the football. Pass is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 11 with 4:38 to go in the first quarter. 14-0. Arrows on top. I believe this is the first 3rd down the Arrows have had all game.
Yes, it is. And Raggis had time to throw. He kind of hurried it. He had a receiver open, and he threw it at his feet. So, big 3rd down. 11 to go for a first.
Scott said 3rd and 11. 2 receivers to each side of the formation for the Arrows. Raggets under center. Nolan Hankey lined up right behind him in the fullback spot, and a flag before the snap.
Looks like offsides on Belleville.
So 5 free yards on the Pinks penalty, moves the football to the 23-yard line and sets up 3rd and 6, a much more manageable 3rd down for Lancaster.
It does. It changes your play. It changes what you can do. It actually adds in a few more plays. But you still have to be smart because you're inside your own 30-yard line. So
this is a big 3rd down for the Belleville defense. You want to get a stop to get some momentum and some good mojo on your side of the ball. Here's 3rd and 6. Raggets dropping back to pass. He's in trouble. Dumps it off to the far side. It's caught by Taylor Williams, but there's 3 Wildcats there to swarm and make the tackle. Couldn't see which one it was that got there first, but a great reaction by the Belleville defense to keep the Arrows in check. Sets up 4th and about 4 with 4:20 to go in the first quarter, and the Arrows, I would imagine, are going to put this away. The Lancaster punt team set to take the field. Cooper Nemec set to return for Belleville. He's standing at the Belleville 33-yard line. And it looks like it'll be the sophomore Lucas Weber punting this one away for Lancaster.
13 Weber to punt for the Arrows.
Belleville trying to get their side of the line. Weber gets one punted away with the left foot. This will be returned by Nemec. Crosses the 40 to the 50 and gets spun out of bounds on the far side of the field. So the Wildcats have good field position to begin this drive. They'll be at the Lancaster 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for Belleville with 3:33 to go in the first quarter. Lancaster 14, Belleville 0.
That's pretty much where their last series stalled. So they are setting up with good field positions this time around.
First and 10, Belleville at the 48-yard line. Again, 3:33 to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Taylor fakes it inside, now bounces it to the left side, has some room, gets to the 40-yard line and gets shoved out of bounds. And right near the first down marker, called about a gain of 8. And should be 2nd and 2 coming up here. Nose of the football touching the 40-yard line.
The end on the outside gets sucked in on those plays, and it gives the quarterback a good angle to get outside. Got to stay home.
2nd and 2 with 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. Ball given inside to Myers, and Myers is stonewalled at the line. Preston Clemens and Toy Raggets teaming on the tackle. Gets hit at the line, and maybe a loss of yardage. Looks like they'll put the football at the 41-yard line. So it was a loss of 1. And sets up 3rd and 3. 2 receivers to each side of the formation this time. Taylor in the shotgun, running back Myers to his left. And ball given to Myers, and shakes away from one tackler, but then the Arrows close in and make the stop. Finishing the job was number 28, Nolan Hankey. I believe it was Jackson Seipel, the first one there. He was injured earlier in the game, but seems to be back in. And now all of a sudden, what was 2nd and 2 is now 4th and about 8. And Belleville will punt this one away.
Yeah, they went backwards on the last 2 plays by a stout defense. The front line was able to overcome Belleville's front line.
Juan Williams, 13 Weber, back for the Arrows.
Cooper Nemec set to punt it away, and Lucas Weber and Aiden Wilson, or beg your pardon, Taylor Williams also back to return. Nemec punts this one. It's a high end-over-end punt, and takes a Lancaster bounce to about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good punt high, but the bounce brought it back.
So 1:53 to go in the first quarter. Lancaster 14, Belleville nothing. Lancaster scored on their first offensive play, a 61-yard touchdown pass from Toy Raggets to Aiden Wilson. And then on their second possession, a 17-yard touchdown run by Nolan Hankey. Makes our score 14-0. Lancaster on top, and this is their 4th possession of the game. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line, right in the middle of the field. 3 receivers to the left side. As Raggets takes it inside to Hankey, now looking for some room on the far side. Gets across the line and gets chased down by number 5, Trey Myers of Belleville at the 35-yard line. Should be a gain of about 7. 90 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 14-0 the score.
Well, if this quarter is any indicative to what we had last night's quarter went almost 45 minutes, but then we had the running clock in the second half.
One receiver to each side. And Raggets loses the ball on a toss, and Belleville, I believe, has the recovery in the backfield.
No, Raggets is going to get it back.
Oh, Raggets got it back.
Yep, he was able to scoop it back. But going to end up losing about 8 yards that he had gained before.
Yeah, it's back at the 29-yard line as we go under a minute to go in the quarter. Lancaster will have to run one more play at least. And it should be 3rd and about 8 now after a loss of 6 on the play. One receiver to each side of the formation again. An I formation look. Hankey at fullback. Dane Kaufman, the back that dots the I. Raggets looking for a receiver over the middle and through the hands, incomplete. Pass intended for Taylor Williams. There was double coverage there. It's still a catchable ball for Williams, just unable to pull it in. It'll be 4th down for the Arrows.
Just a little bit too much.
Couldn't tell if there was just a little too much float or just a little too much power. But either way, an incomplete pass, and it'll be 4th and 8 at the 29-yard line with 23 seconds left to go in the quarter. Lucas Weber set to punt this one away, and the left-footed punter gets a nice spiral punt and fair catch called by Nemec, and he will field it at the Belleville 34-yard line.
Oh, we got a penalty. Pink's Automotive. It could be roughing the kicker. Maybe just running into the kicker.
Penalty on the play.
If it's just running into the kicker, it's 5 yards, and it will go. I don't. If it's roughing the kicker, it's an automatic first down. If it's just.
Penalty against Belleville.
No, it's just running into the kicker. I don't know if Lancaster decided to accept it the way it looks.
Yeah, that was a good punt there by Weber. I don't know if you want to erase that.
That's what I'm saying. Why? Because you're still in a situation where you got to be careful. You're still inside your 35-yard line. And it looks like they're going to go for it. So I wonder if they're just going to try and draw them off sides.
Yep, so it's 4th and 6 after the Pinks penalty, and the Arrows are going to go for it. Raggett takes a snap, and he's in trouble, and he is thrown down for a Subs.com sack. Marcus Hebgen, number 26, broke through and gets the sack, and Belleville takes possession deep in Lancaster territory. Took the gamble, and it backfired. Now Belleville with some momentum on their side in the closing seconds of the first quarter.
Yes, that was.
If you had accepted the penalty, or if you would have declined the penalty, it would have been
5 yards
at the Belleville 34.
Yep.
But now it's at the Lancaster 33. 1st and 10 for Belleville. 4 wide receiver set, 2 to each side. Taylor looking over the middle. Pass is out of the hands and incomplete. Taylor Williams tried to one-hand catch that one for an interception, but it falls to the ground. 7 seconds left in the first quarter, 2nd and 10 after the incompletion.
That was so close. I thought for sure Belleville was going to score in that play, and the defender got his hands up there just in the right time.
Yes, the Arrows do have 1 interception already. Lucas Weber with 1 interception in the game so far. And what started as an explosive first quarter has suddenly become a bit of a defensive struggle. 2 receivers to each side as Myers is the running back lined up to the left. Taylor takes a snap, toss play to Myers. Myers gets across the line to the 25 and shoved out of bounds just shy of the 20 to about the 22. And that should be the end of the first quarter. 3rd down coming up to begin the second quarter. Through 1 quarter of play, 14-0. Arrows on top of Belleville. Second quarter coming up next on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In game
Buy
3.
local and thrive local at the Platteville Outdoor Farmers Market, happening every Saturday from 8 till noon next to City Park on Bonson Street in Platteville.
Hi, this is Timothy Billings from Timberlane Woodworking. Stop by this weekend to check out my booth at the Platteville Farmers Market.
Hi folks, my name is Jenna Phillips and I'm with Phillips Heritage Homestead from Darlington, Wisconsin. We bring to the market fresh jams and pickled goods, herbs, and seasonal produce.
Hi, I'm Katrina with Gleason Cattle Company Meats out of Shellsburg, Wisconsin. My husband and I offer grass-fed beef, pork, and lamb in individual cuts and by larger quantities straight from the farm. We want everyone to be able to experience family farm fresh meats direct to their table every day of the week.
The Platteville Outdoor Farmers Market, every Saturday through October from 8 till noon next to City Park on Bonson Street in Platteville. Find the complete vendor lineup and interactive map at PlattevilleFarmersMarketWI.com.
In game 3.
$14-0 our score through 1 quarter of play. Lancaster leading Belleville on Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football, presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolzman with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. It is 3rd and 6 for Belleville, working from right to left. As we see it from the booth, ball spotted at the Lancaster 25-yard line. Braden Taylor takes a snap, goes inside to Myers. Myers dives forward, gets across the 25 and to about the 23. Call it a gain of 2. It'll be 4th and 4. Belleville's likely going to go for it. They do have a field goal kicker, Tyler Miyamoto, but I don't think it's within his range. And I believe they'll try and pick up the Big Iron Realty first down on the next play.
was a golden opportunity here for Belleville. They were deep inside Lancaster's.
Two receivers at each side of the formation on 4th and 4. Taylor takes a snap, looking to his left, finds a receiver open on the slant. It is caught, and it is a Big Iron Realty first down inside the 10-yard line. Officially in the Bitech green zone, should be 1st and goal at the Lancaster 7-yard line. Nice catch there by Tyler Miyamoto.
Well, 11-yard pass reception gives them a first down and actually 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line as Miyamoto lined up wide to the right side. Two receivers to the left and a wing back on the left side as well. Taylor takes a snap, bounces it to the left side, trying to get past a couple defenders, gets inside the 5 before 3 Arrows getting up to make the tackle. Nolan Hankey leading the charge. Toy Raggets finishing the job, and it'll be 2nd and goal at about the 4-yard line. Game tonight brought to you by Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Herms's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herms's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. Second and goal at the 5-yard line. Two receivers to each side of the formation. Myers in the backfield out of the pistol. And Myers gets it with a head of steam, and he runs in untouched for a Northland Buildings touchdown. Trey Myers caps off a 6-play drive with the first rushing touchdown of the season for Belleville. Cuts into the deficit 14-6. Lancaster in the lead. And it looks like Belleville will line up for the extra point. Tyler Miyamoto lining up for the point and flush extra point. Cooper Nemec set to hold. Here's the snap, here's the kick, and end over and kick through the uprights, and good. With 10 minutes to play in the second quarter, it's Lancaster 14, Belleville 7. Let's do a quick check on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. At the end of the first quarter, Southwestern East Dubuque leads Blackhawk Warren 7-6. Tight ball game early on there. And on Super Hits 106 in the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, Potosi Castleton leading Cuba City 7-0. And last update we have in Platteville, Darlington with a 7-0 lead on the Hillman on X1071.
And Belmont, dated myself again, Dodgeville and Mineral Point is 0-0. In the first half, and the Brewers are behind the San Francisco Giants 2-0. I do believe that was the second inning.
All right. Game today also brought to you by Mound City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mound City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MoundCityBank.com. Set to kick it away is Brody Funseth for Belleville, and back to return is Lucas Weber and Nolan Hankey. As Funseth kicks this one away from a right to left. And Lucas Weber will field it at the 9. Weber running to the middle of the field across the 25 and gets tripped up before crossing the 30. It looked like he had a wide open seam and just got tripped up, preventing a monster kickoff return. But Arrows take possession, leading 14-7 with 9:54 to go in the second quarter. And the Arrows trying to find that offensive momentum again, scoring on their first 2 possessions, but have come up empty in their last 2.
Yeah, this would be a good drive for them to get back to dominating this game and put a score up again to answer back.
All spotted at the 27-yard line, right in the middle of the field, and Raggets gives inside to Hankey, and Hankey is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. It's big number 52. Hazy and Edmond there to make contact. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Game also brought to you by Rural Mutual Agents John Raggets and Deneen Dahl with Raggets & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Nolan Hankey in the fullback spot on 2nd and 10. Raggets stands up from under center and will duck back under after reading the defense. Raggets with the snap. Quick pass to the far side, and the pass is incomplete. Another drop pass, this one by Dane Kaufman. And boy, if he would have caught that one, he had an open seam on that far side of the field. Could have been an explosive play, but now it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, this is not what you wanted to do after Belleville scored, is to go 3 and out and have to punt right back to them.
Raggets getting the play from the Lancaster sideline. Our game tonight brought to you by Community First Bank. Freeing the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. 3rd and 10 for Lancaster. 9:03 to go in the second quarter. Lancaster with a 14-7 lead. And a give to Nolan Hinkey on 3rd and 10. Gets across the 30 before being gang tackled at about the 31-yard line. And it'll be Trey Myers and number 4, Jackson Fay, closing in on the tackle. It'll be 4th and long for the Arrows. Called a gain of 4 on the play. Another update on the shoebox scoreboard. Darlington now up 14-0 on Platteville on X107.1. Lucas Weber will punt it away for the Arrows. Cooper Nemec standing at the Belleville 30-yard line, awaiting the return. Weber gets a snap and punts this one away. This one a kind of a duck spiral punt and takes a bounce at the 40-yard line and a Belleville bounce to the 44. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Belleville on the far side of the field at their own 44-yard line with 8:08 to go in the second quarter. 14-7, Lancaster on top.
Good field position for Belleville to start out at.
Scored their first touchdown on their last drive, a 6-play drive. Capped off by a 7-yard touchdown run by running back Trey Myers. As the Wildcats come out with a 3-wide receiver set to the left side of the formation. Taylor with the snap. Pass over the middle. Pass is caught. And across the 50 to the 40 to the 30. Still on his feet to the 20. Along the sideline and into the end zone for Northland Buildings touchdown. Cooper Nemec with the catch and run. And the Wildcats make it a 1-point game with 7:56 to go in the second quarter. 56-yard touchdown catch and run from Taylor to Nemec. And we'll see if Tyler Miyamoto can tie it up with the point and flush extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and it just clears the crossbar. It is good, and we are tied at 14 with 7:56 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout and come back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 4.
Better health is just around the corner. Grant Regional Community Clinics in Lancaster, Potosi, Cassville, and now Fenimore are just down the street and right in your neighborhood. With convenient hours and experienced providers, we're ready to care for your entire family. And we accept major health plans, including Quartz, Medical Associates, and Dean, to name a few. We're proud to support our local communities with local care close to home. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
Hi, this is Will Dunson with Dubuque Mattress. Why is a Dubuque Mattress customer a customer for life? It's simple. At Dubuque Mattress, the customer is number one. Period. The customer's happiness is the most important thing. If there is anything I can do to help you sleep better, I will. Whether it's while you're looking at a new mattress, 6 months later, or 10 years after you've purchased from us, you are still number one.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
In Game 4.
Lucas Weber returns the ensuing kickoff to the Lancaster 25-yard line. The Arrows take possession after Belleville has scored on back-to-back possessions to tie things up at 14. 7:50 to go in the second quarter on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football, presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Raggets under center, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Raggets gives to Hankey. Hankey trying to bounce it to the left side. Ball is loose, and Raggets able to find it and jump on it to keep possession for the Arrows. It'll be a loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11. Boy, Scott, we mentioned an explosive start for Lancaster, but drop passes and loose footballs on the turf, not what you want to see here.
Yeah, the mistakes are really hurting Lancaster right now. You know, the last couple of years it's been penalties, but this time it's just been simple miscues.
Same 3 wide receiver look this time to the left as Raggets quick pass to the far side. It's caught by Aiden Wilson at the 30. Along the sideline to the 38-yard line. He loses the football, but the whistle blows the play dead. And we'll see where they spot the football. Definitely enough for a Big Iron Realty first down. And looks like they will give him forward progress to the 41-yard line. Nice game there by Aiden Wilson.
An 11-yard gain.
Game tonight brought to you by Russell Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. 3 receivers to the left bunched, and Aiden Wilson, the receiver to the right, to give inside to Hankey, and Hankey trying to force his way forward. A very tough earned 3-yard gain on the play, gets it to the 44-yard line. 2nd and 7 coming up.
2 yards.
Yeah, Nolan Hankey, an impressive running back. If you remember, Scott, he took over the running back duties in the game against River Valley, and in 6 games of action had almost 900 yards.
Yes, he really had a nice season last year. Hopefully he has a good one again this year.
3 receivers bunched to the left side again, and a quick pass to the far side, and it's a backwards lateral. As couldn't tell which receiver it was that time. I don't know if that was Taylor Williams initially, number 1. Looks like he thought he had the ball, but then looked up and the ball suddenly was out of his hand and didn't realize that it's actually considered a fumble since it was behind the line of scrimmage. Called a loss of 2. We can see Lancaster trying to go with more of these timing concepts, quick passes, trying to get the ball out quickly, but if you don't catch the ball, you can't really execute anything down the field. 2 receivers to the right, 3 receivers to the right, beg your pardon, 1 to the left. Raggets under center, and a Pink's penalty flag or a timeout.
No,
Pink's
penalty
flag
all
on
the
the far
way
side.
on the other side. It's going to be offsides against Belleville.
So Belleville with 5 free yards, making this a much easier 3rd down for Lancaster. That will put the football at the Arrows' 46-yard line. Makes it 3rd and 6. They got to get to the Belleville 49 for a Big Iron Realty first down. Game today brought to you by Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's gets the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. 3 receivers stacked to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Raggets under center. Nolan Hankey in the fullback spot. They give inside to Hankey. Hankey trying to force his way forward, carrying defenders with him across the 50 to the 49, churning those legs, and he might have enough for the Big Iron Realty first down.
I think they're marking him a little short.
Oh, that is just short.
Not by much.
Might be the length of the football. Yeah, they're spotting the football right on the 50, so it'll be 4th and half a yard. 4:40 to go in the second quarter, tied at 14. Lancaster going for it on 4th down. Again, 3 receivers stacked to the left. Aiden Wilson, the lone receiver, split to the right. Hankey 2 yards back behind Raggets. Raggets rolling to his left, pitches it out to Hankey. He's got the first down and more across the 40 and gets shoved out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A big 4th down conversion for the Arrows, and they are in Belleville territory at the 35-yard line. Huge gain there.
16 yards.
1st and 10 for the Arrows on another Big Iron Realty first down.
That was a big first down for them. They need to keep this drive going. They got to answer back here before halftime.
Clock is stopped with 4:18 to go in the second quarter, tied at 14 apiece. Taylor Williams, the receiver, split out to the right side, I formation look, and Raggets loses the football. It's still loose on the near sideline. Kaufman able to jump on it and save the possession for the Arrows again. That's about the third or fourth time they've had a fumble, but able to recover it. And the miscues just keep coming for the Arrows.
They didn't lose anything. If anything, they gained a little bit, but still, that hurts them.
Yeah, it looks like it got back to the original line of scrimmage. It's at the 34-yard line. And I think you're right. They actually gained a yard on that as Kaufman was sliding in to recover the fumble, and he got forward progress on that. So 2nd and 9 with 3:48 to go in the second quarter. Arrows trying to close in on the Bitech green zone. 3 receivers bunched to the left side, 1 receiver to the right. Fake inside to Hankey. Now a quick toss to Taylor Williams. Williams looking for some blockers, and there's 2 defenders there to make the tackle after a gain of about 2 yards. Gets to about the 32-yard line. And couldn't see which Belleville defenders made the tackle on the far side of the field, but great recovery there by the Wildcats, preventing an explosive play from happening.
Yes, well defended. Knife through there and made that tackle. If he would have made the tackle, more yardage would have been gained.
Play number 8 of this drive, the longest drive for either team in this game so far. We're at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter, tied at 14. It's 3rd and 8 for the Arrows. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As Raggets takes a snap, rolling to his right, fires over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Pass intended for number 16, Brody Krubel, just out of his reach, and it'll be 4th and 8. Arrows will likely go for it with 2:51 to go in the second quarter.
I think they could have called a penalty on there. The defender grabbed the receiver's arm and kept it from coming up, but the official right there didn't call it.
Once we get to halftime, we'll get you the McNett Electric halftime report brought to you by McNett Electric in Belmont. They can assist with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. 4th and 8, 2:51 to go in the second quarter. Lancaster 14, Belleville 14. Lancaster scoring 14 points in the first quarter. Belleville scoring 14 points in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Raggets takes a snap, pitches back to Taylor Williams. Williams looking for a receiver downfield, looking for Aiden Wilson. Jump ball, and the pass is incomplete. And probably a good thing for the Wildcats, it wasn't considered an interception along the near sideline. They'll take possession at the Lancaster, or at the Belleville 37-yard line with 2:43 to go until halftime.
Lancaster had a nice drive going there, but ends up stalling out. And really, that last first down fumble kind of took the sail, or the wind out of the sail, and they didn't get anything after that.
So 2:43 to go until halftime, tied at 14. 1st and 10 for Belleville. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quick pass to the far side. It is caught, and play ends very quickly as on the reception, number 15, Charlie Spiegel, unable to do much with it after the reception. Maybe gets a gain of 1.
The 15 Spiegel, tackled by 28 Hankey.
And Hankey, the player making the tackle for the Arrows. It's 2nd and 10 with 2:15 to go until halftime. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Taylor under center. It's a low snap, able to recover, rolls to his right, has some room, gets across the line of scrimmage and across the 40, into Lancaster territory, across the 50, and to the Arrows 48-yard line before that play ends. 1st and 10 for Belleville. Another Big Iron Realty first down for Belleville. And the Wildcats looking to potentially take the lead heading into halftime locker room, and they do say that he stepped out at the 50-yard line.
19-yard gain on that run.
Two receivers to the left. 1 to the right, a wing back to the right side of the formation. Pistol look this time for quarterback Raiden Taylor. Taylor gives inside to Myers. Myers gets through the initial line, but then gets stonewalled as number 71 for the Arrows, Wyatt McLean, able to make the stop as the clock continues to run. Belleville does have 2 timeouts remaining. Lancaster with all 3 in their back pocket if they need them. So we close in on a minute to play. 2nd and 8 after the gain of 2. 4 wide receiver set, 2 to each side of the formation. Taylor takes the snap, looking to his left, finds Nemec on a slant pattern near the first down sticks. He makes the catch, and he will be just about a yard shy of the Big Iron Realty first down at the 42-yard line. Lucas Weber in on the tackle, and Belleville will spend one of those timeouts here with 51.6 seconds remaining on the shoebox scoreboard. While both teams chat things over, we'll tell you that our game is brought to you by the dental office located in Lancaster. The dental office is a trusted name for high-quality family dental care, proud to be the preferred provider of dentistry in Lancaster, Wisconsin. Also by West End Salvage of Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Krantz and the West End Salvage team for recycling, as well as construction, demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. And by Lancaster Auto Body in Lancaster, specializing in top-quality collision repair, leaving your vehicle looking as good as new. Lancaster Auto Body, where they say we meet by accident. See them at LancasterAutoBodyLLC.com. Game also brought to you by Breckler Insurance Group. For all of your insurance needs, see Steve Landusky at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. 51.6 seconds remaining in the first half. Belleville 14, Lancaster 14. It is 3rd and 3 at the 43-yard line. Belleville has to get it across the 40-yard line for a Big Iron Realty first down. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Taylor takes the snap. Taylor looking for some room, and a big tackle there by Lucas Weber. First one there to prevent him from getting to the first down sticks. And I believe the Arrows will have to take a timeout here, as there is an injured player, but Arrows are going to take the timeout regardless to get another possession here. Are the Arrows going to be content with potentially letting this clock run out? Or maybe Belleville goes for it.
Yeah, it's 4th and 1. They're inside Lancaster's territory. They may take a delay of game.
Yeah, Lancaster with all 3 of their timeouts.
And Belleville just took a timeout.
So that does leave them with 1 timeout remaining for the Wildcats with 19.6 seconds left to go. I believe the scoreboard was wrong. Now it looks corrected. 1 timeout remaining for Belleville. Rosemeyer Wealth Management will design a plan specific for your retirement goals. The experts at Rosemeyer Management will answer all your questions, even if you don't know what the questions are to ask. Check out their website at rosemeyermg.com. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolzman with you from the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, the best seat in the house. We've had a great game so far. 14-14 our score, 19.6 seconds left until halftime, and Belleville set to line up on 4th and 1. Ball spotted at the 41. They got to get it across the 40 for a Big Iron Realty first down. 2 receivers to each side. Myers lined up to the left of Taylor. Taylor, quick pass to the far side. Pass is caught, and more than enough for the Big Iron Realty first down. I believe Cooper Nemec was the receiver who made the catch, and the ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line. Needed 1, got 4.
And Belleville will use its last timeout.
Timeout, Belleville.
Play number 7 of the drive coming up after the timeout. Belleville, no more timeouts remaining with 14 seconds left until the halftime break. Get some updates on the shoebox scoreboard in just a minute as well during our halftime report. Today's game also brought to you by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service because at Les Mack, you always get more from Les. We'll pick up the action with 14 seconds left. 1st and 10 for Belleville at the Arrows 38-yard line, far side hash mark. 2 receivers to each side. Taylor, low snap, drops back to pass, looking to his left, fires over the middle, and pass is caught by Nemec, and he runs into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. A 38-yard touchdown strike from Taylor to Nemec, and the Wildcats score 20 unanswered points in the second quarter to take a 6-point lead with the point after coming up. Tyler Miyamoto set to swing the leg for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is blocked. So the extra point is no good, no point flush extra point. But with 7.5 seconds left until halftime, Belleville 20, Lancaster 14. Again, Lancaster started off hot, 14-0, scoring in their first 2 possessions, but Belleville with an outstanding second quarter to take a 6-point lead, and that's likely to be the score heading into the locker room unless a very explosive play happens on the kickoff.
That is correct, and I can tell you right now what the turning point of this whole game was, and I still question that call, but that's why I'm up here and not down on the field.
A 38-yard touchdown strike from Taylor to Cooper Nemec. Has given Belleville the 6-point advantage. And now we'll see Brody Funset set to kick it away. And we'll see if the Arrows can get an explosive return or some excellent field position to try and potentially swing momentum their way heading into the locker room. Funset gives the signal. And gets the squib kick, which will be fielded at the 38-yard line. Jumping on the ball is Marshall Weiss, the junior. No time coming off the clock, and I would imagine Lancaster will just take a knee and go to the halftime. They will start with the ball to begin the second half.
Last night I thought differently. I think tonight I see them doing a play.
Preston Clemens a little late getting out onto the field.
Well, they got plenty of time. They got 3 timeouts, so if
Raggets will give inside to Hankey, and Hankey is stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. And that will be the final play before halftime. And we go to the halftime break with our score, Belleville 20, Lancaster 14. Coming up, we'll bring you the McNutt Electric halftime report, a quick check on the shoebox scoreboard. We'll get you the Millie's Diner halftime fix and recap the first half, which was Lancaster in the first quarter, Belleville in the second quarter. We'll tell you all about it coming up in just a little bit on our McNutt Electric halftime report on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 5.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
In Game 5.
Belleville 20, Lancaster 14 at halftime on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Other updates on our shoebox scoreboard at the half on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Potosi Cassville with a 21-0 lead on the Cuba City Cubans, and also Blackhawk Warren 14, Southwestern East Dubuque 7. That game at the half. Darlington with a 21-0 lead over Platteville with 5:28 left in the second quarter on X1071. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the McNett Electric halftime report, recapping the first half between the Wildcats and the Flying Arrows on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Halftime.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Lancaster, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Bradley Breer, agent at Bradley Breer Agency, LLC. Call me at 608-723-2990, and let's talk about your insurance needs today. Contact Bradley Breer, agent at Bradley Breer Agency, LLC at 608-723-2990 today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance.
I'm here today with Keith Dula from Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Keith, it seems like hybrids are dominating the roads, but there aren't many charging locations in Dubuque.
Agreed. Luckily, Toyota hybrids don't require plug-in charging. The Toyota hybrid system is built to charge while the vehicle is being driven, so there's no need for plug-in charging.
That's awesome. What about the battery life? Should people be worried about its longevity?
Not at all. Toyota has sold over 5 million hybrids in the last 25 years. Plus, their battery warranty covers you for 10 years or 150,000 miles.
How does regular maintenance on a hybrid compare to a gas model?
Hey, that's a great question. Toyota hybrid vehicles require the same maintenance as gas-powered models and oftentimes even less. For example, the hybrid model's regenerative braking charges the battery while slowing down the vehicle, increasing the life of the vehicle's brake pads.
Wow, it seems like there are a lot of benefits in choosing a hybrid Toyota. Visit Anderson Weber in Dubuque to learn more and to take a test drive today.
The Highland Truck and Tractor Pullers present the Highland Nationals Truck and Tractor Pull Saturday night at the Highland Rodeo Ground. This year's event includes Hot Farm, Super Farm tractors, Light Pros, 4.1 Limited Pro Stocks, and Pro Stock tractors. Food and beverage will be available, and this year DJ music in the beer garden. Action starts at 5 p.m. Admission is $20, 12 and under free. So bring the whole family to the Highland Nationals Truck and Tractor Pull this Saturday night at the Highland Rodeo Ground.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then, you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Halftime, 3 minutes.
Time now for the McNett Electric halftime report on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our halftime score: Belleville 20, Lancaster 14 on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolson with you with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth in what was a very interesting first half where the game began with Belleville receiving the opening kick. They would punt after 4 plays, and when Lancaster got the ball, Toy Raggets found Aiden Wilson on a 61-yard touchdown pass off a couple reverses and double passes. A trick play to open up the game. Lancaster went up 6-0 after the 2-point conversion was no good. Belleville would get the ball on their next possession, and on the 5th play of the drive, they throw an interception to Lucas Weber, and the very next, or 2 plays later, a 17-yard touchdown run for Nolan Hankey. The 2-point conversion was good to make it 14-0 advantage Arrows with 7:31 to go in the first quarter. We'll fast forward to the second quarter where Belleville capped off a 6-play drive with a 7-yard touchdown run by Trey Myers to make the score 14-7 after the Tyler Miyamoto extra point was good. And then Lancaster would punt the ball away on 4th down. There was a Pink's penalty flag for running into the kicker, and Lancaster decided to go for it. They would turn it over on downs, and then Belleville would go 56 yards on a touchdown pass from Taylor to Cooper Nemec to tie the game at 14. Lancaster would turn the ball over on downs on their next possession, and Belleville would score on a 38-yard touchdown pass from Taylor to Cooper Nemec. The extra point was blocked, and that brings us to halftime with our score 20-14. And Scott, we were talking about it after Lancaster went up 14-0. Couldn't ask for a better start. Everything was firing on all cylinders, but as we were kind of alluding to before halftime, going for it on that 4th down, the momentum officially swung Belleville's way, and they've taken advantage, scoring 20 unanswered points.
Yeah, I mean, Lancaster was inside their own 35-yard line and going for it where they still had to get 4 yards to get the first down. That's risky, and to me, that's the turning point right now in this game because that gave life to Belleville. They had a short field to go. They scored. They stopped Lancaster with 4 and out, and then next thing you know, they score, and Belleville hasn't looked back since.
Yeah, kind of a whiplash effect for the Arrows. You have that explosive start, now all of a sudden you're down by 6 at halftime, and in addition, to that decision, Lancaster getting in their own way with some untimely penalties, a lot of drop passes, a lot of things that you don't normally see, normally from a Lancaster team, and I think Coach Jordan Rowland has a lot of things that he wants to go over with his team before the second half begins.
I've been watching Lancaster the last couple of years, and their biggest Achilles is the penalties. I mean,
right.
They had penalties left and right, and it was normal for them to have 10 or more penalties in a game, but right now in the first half, they've had 1 penalty.
Yeah, it's
just fumbling the ball at the wrong times and losing yardage on those.
Yeah, very fortunately, they've been recovering 3 or 4 of their own fumbles, so they don't lose possession on those. But that still disrupts the momentum and a lot of things that you want to do. And we've been seeing them. They want to go real quick, get the ball out of Toy Raggets' hands, get it to the speedy receivers, get them in the open field. But if you don't catch the ball and you can't pull it in, none of those plays really matter.
Right. Yep. And those are killers, and they got to fix those in the second half. They come back in this game. I mean, they get the ball back. They're by no means out of this game, but they got to get the momentum back on their side. They've lost it, and they need to do something special in this next first drive. They can't go 3-0. They really can't.
All right, let's talk about our Millie's Diner halftime fix, brought to you by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville. Stop in and see what they're fixing for you. As we've kind of been talking about, Lancaster got to keep your concentration, got to pull in the football in those quick passes and get into the open field, move the football, get the momentum back on your side. And for Belleville, give a lot of credit to Coach Nolden and what he was able to do. Down 14-0 early on. His team, still very not only in it but in the lead able to swing the momentum, and that speaks to the experience that that this team has. And Cooper Nemec, an outstanding wide receiver, he's been a game breaker so far for Belleville.
Yes, he has. And if I was Belleville's coach right now, I know it's only the first game, but his quarterback is running that option well, and I would go back to that bread and butter and just keep pounding it against Lancaster, because right now they got the lead. They can chew up the clock and keep Lancaster from scoring. That's big for them. You look at Lancaster, they gotta stop the quarterback from getting the outside. I mean, he has hurt them in the runs, which sets up the pass for them. So
right.
they gotta shut that down. And right now their ends aren't stopping the quarterback from getting the outside.
Yeah, very interesting to see what the second half looks like. Our halftime score again, 20-14. Belleville on top of Lancaster in a rematch from last year's sectional championship game, level 3 in Division 6 from a year ago. We'll take a timeout and we'll come back. We'll get you some updates on the shoebox scoreboard as well. More scoring updates coming in, and we'll get you the second half between Belleville and Lancaster. The Arrows will receive the second half kickoff, and that's coming your way next. This has been the McNutt Electric Halftime Report on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 6.
Fuller's Milker Center and GIA have the management tools you need to keep your dairy's profitability at your fingertips 24 hours a day. From many choices of reliable electronic ID to effective time-saving sort gates to the state-of-the-art Dairy Plan C21, monitor and control your parlor systems as you manage your whole herd. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your GIA dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center for details on the latest ID systems and sort gates that can help your dairy's efficiency, putting you and your cows in the fast lane.
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
In Game 6.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country, WGLR FM Lancaster, and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Closing in on the start of the second half, Belleville with a 20-14 lead on the Flying Arrows in week 1 of our high school football action. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolson with you from the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. This is the second game in 2 nights that you and I have had. I got to see Highland with a big victory over Monticello in 8-player football, 52-14. You saw Belmont with a 48-0 win over Wisconsin Heights. Our 8-player programs locally off to a strong start. We'll see Highland again coming up on Thursday night as they take on Williams Bay. Very fun matchup again coming up as, our 8-player teams, as we mentioned, Scott, very outstanding week number 1 for them as well.
Yes, it is. And, I've always said that small schools, to keep their football programs alive, we'd have to go to 8-man, and we have. And this year, WIA has extended the number of teams going into the playoffs to 32. And last I heard, there were about 80-some teams this year that are playing 8-man football, which is great. I mean, nothing against the schools that are co-oping, but it still saves the identity of a school by able to host 8-man football. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't see anything different from the game. People say there it is. It's not as exciting as 11-man, but you know what? 8-man is just as good as 11-man. So,
yeah, for the first 8-player games that I got to call, I was thinking it might be more like arena football, kind of thing, kind of spread the field out a little bit more. But I've seen a lot of defensive struggle games, as well. It's a fun brand of football to watch. The field is a little bit, shorter, as far as the sidelines go, they're a lot closer together. It's still, 100 yards, between the end zones. But yeah, a fun brand of football, and our 8-player programs off to start initially. So, and again, we'll see the Highland Cardinals in action against Williams Bay coming up on Thursday. We'll have that game on X1071 and also on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel as the teams finish their warm-ups, and we'll get the second half underway in just a little bit. Lancaster will receive the second half kickoff, again trailing 20-14. Our game tonight brought to you by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call. TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. Our extra points tonight brought to you by Point and Flush Sportsman's Club. Their guided upland bird and waterfowl hunts with friends and family will create memories that'll last forever. Make your best shot with Point and Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, and refinishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best. See Rob Krantz and the crew for full service repairs on cars and light trucks too. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best in Fenimore. Our halftime fix earlier brought to you by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville, where everything is homemade, open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check out their daily menu specials on Facebook. Also by Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and at sloans.com. Our turnovers tonight brought to you by Lancaster Dental Associates and Fenimore Smiles. Get the smile you want and the health you deserve. Learn more at lencdent.com. We had a couple sups.com sacks as well. Fill your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from a locally owned company. Visit their Fenimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and at sups.com. People's State Bank for personal, home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their area convenient locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Pink's Automotive in Lancaster and Goodney's Garage in Platteville have certified technicians, equipment, and experience to keep your vehicle in top running condition. And by Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville, Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control with over 40 years of professional, friendly service.
Right now, Brewers are still losing, going into the bottom of the fourth, 2-0. And I do have Dodgeville losing to Mineral Point, 7-0 in the third period.
Tight ball game, and that one a little bit unexpected, I think.
Yeah, I really thought the way Dodgeville looked last week in the scrimmage versus how Mineral Point looked, I thought Dodgeville will have the upper hand and win big, but looks like I might be wrong.
Yep, Lancaster has their return team on the field. They will work from left to right to begin the third quarter as we see it from the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth and as you see it on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Brody Funseth will set to kick this one away. As we were mentioning during our halftime report, Scott, Arrows looking for some offense to start clicking. They had a strong start but have really fallen apart. Some drop passes and one untimely penalty has really disrupted things.
Yes, they got to put a nice drive here together, and it looks like the ball is going to go out of bounds. So they can either take it on the 35 or have them re-kick. It looks like they're going to take it. So they'll have good field position to start the second half with.
All right, so Belleville with a Pinks penalty right out of the gate to begin the third quarter. With the kickoff out of bounds, so the Arrows will take it at the 35-yard line. Belleville 20, Lancaster 14. Toy Raggets brings his offense out to the field. And two receivers to each side of the formation. Raggets will duck under center. Nolan Hankey in the fullback spot lined up right behind him. Raggets takes a snap, gives inside to Hankey. Hankey churning his legs and getting a hard-earned 3 or 4 yards, depending on where they spot the football. Lancaster going to go back with the old school play calling. They'll get a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up for the Arrows. Feels like for the Arrows, when in doubt, just go to Nolan Hankey. We saw what he was able to do towards the tail end of the season last year. Maybe go to him early and often here to begin the third.
Yeah. Let him warm up and he'll eventually break one.
Fake inside to Hankey, and Raggets will keep it, and he's looking for some room, but runs into two defenders at the line of scrimmage. Gets it across the 40 to the 41, but not much room after that. It'll be 3rd and about 4. They got to get it across the 45-yard line for a Big Iron Realty first down. Ball spotted at the 43. Two receivers to each side. Raggets under center. Raggets fakes inside. No, gives to Hankey, and Hankey has nowhere to go at the line of scrimmage as number 5, Trey Myers, there in on the tackle. And it'll be 4th down for the Arrows. So Arrows come up empty on their first possession of the second half. I don't think that they would go for it here, but we'll see what Coach Rowland decides to do.
Looks like they're going to go for it, but, you know, as aggressive as Belleville is, I still haven't figured out why Lancaster doesn't try and draw them off sides.
Two receivers to each side on 4th and 4. Raggets keeps it, looks for some room on the left side. He has the Big Iron Realty first down, able to get it across the 45, maybe forward progress to about the 48, which is about 2 yards more than what he needed.
Yeah, picks up about 5 yards on that run. Gives him a big first down.
Extends the drive. Play number 5 coming up. Four wide receiver set again for the Arrows. 2 to each side. Hickey in the backfield, he'll get the carry, spins his way across the 50 and still on his feet, spins his way to the 40-yard line as Hankey now starting to get things going for the Arrows. Once he got past that line of scrimmage, gotten that first initial tackle, still able to stay upright and move the chains. Another Big Iron Realty first down for the Arrows.
Yes. These just keep feeding him the ball, getting him lathered up and going in here. Straight drive plays.
Four wide receiver set again for the Arrows, and someone from Belleville jumping, able to get back in time.
Yeah, they didn't break the neutral zone.
Another give inside to Hankey, and Hankey falls forward for a gain of about 2.
He tried to jump a defender, and the defender grabbed his legs and brought him down. Kind of came up high like a rabbit, and just ended up getting caught by the ankles.
Gain of 2 to the 38-yard line, 2nd and 8 with 8:45 to go in the third quarter, 20-14. Belleville on top of Lancaster. Arrows' first possession of the third quarter. Play number 7 coming up, but the officials blow the whistle. What's going on here?
I got a feeling they're going to make him. Point of emphasis is making sure the players are properly equipped, and he's got knee pads that are above his knee for Belleville.
And so players swapped out. 2 receivers to each side of the formation again on 2nd and 8. And a give inside to Hankey, and this is going to be enough for Raggets with the keeper.
Yep, he kept it.
And gets it across the 30-yard line. Another Big Iron Realty first down for the Arrows. Drive goes on.
9 yards on that drive.
Got it across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Closing in on the Bitech green zone. And boy, this drive, just what the doctor ordered for the Arrows. See if they can keep it going. 1st and 10. Ball spot in the middle of the field. Raggets with the keeper again. Gets it across the 25. To the 15, to the 10, still on his feet, angling towards the pylon for a Northland Buildings touchdown. My, oh my, what a run by Toy Raggets, a 29-yard touchdown scamper, breaking tackles, and finding his way across the goal line. We're tied at 20 with the PAT coming up.
This is going to be a big point after. If they can get here and get the lead back, it'll bring some momentum and life back into the defense for Lancaster.
Lancaster has gone for 2 on their previous touchdowns. Looks like they won't be attempting extra points, at least in this game, as Raggets brings his team to the line of scrimmage. 1 receiver split out wide to the left, 3 receivers stacked to the right side. Now Williams goes in motion to the backfield, now back to his position.
Better call timeout.
And Coach Rowland does call timeout, and he is frustrated.
They were not lined up right. They couldn't get lined up right, and the back judge was starting to count. And you don't want to take a penalty on your extra point.
Nope, another mental mistake for the Arrows here. But we are tied at 20 with 7:57 to go in the third quarter. Lancaster putting it in the end zone on their first possession of the third quarter, but a big 2-point conversion attempt coming up here to put the Arrows potentially back in the lead.
Brewers are now tied, bottom of the fifth, 2-2.
There we go. Get some more updates on that game as it goes along. Our game tonight brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com.
Okay, ready to go for the extra point.
Green and Wilson lined up wide to the left. Three receivers stacked to the right side. Raggets under center. Now they split apart.
Looks like it could be a quick.
It's a fade pass to the near side, and it is caught.
Good. Yep.
My, oh my, what a jump ball catch by Taylor Williams using his basketball prowess to pull that one down, high pointing the ball using his 6'2 frame, and the Arrows are in front 22-20 with 7:57 to play in the third quarter.
They both caught the ball, but the Lancaster receiver is going to come down. He was able to pull it out of the defender's hands as they hit the ground and rolled over with the ball, and that's huge. Now, this game ends with Lancaster winning. I know where my turning point all of a sudden went to.
An 8-play drive capped off by a Raggets 29-yard touchdown run, and then a point and flush 2-point conversion on a pass from Raggets to Taylor Williams puts the Arrows in front 22-20 with 7:57 to play in the third quarter. Back and forth we go all of a sudden here in Lancaster. This game certainly entertaining, to say the least.
Yes, it is. And we won't get a running clock tonight.
No, we won't. But I feel like this game is far from over. A lot of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left.
And we'll see if Belleville can answer. Raggets will tee it up for the Arrows. Back to return is Cooper Nemec.
And the ball decides to fall over.
The one little gust of wind that we've been able to feel all night is out on the field, not behind us. Would love for the wind to come in our Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. It is the best seat in the house, but boy, it is a stuffy broadcast booth here tonight.
It definitely is a lot warmer than it was last night. And I know the next couple days is supposed to be nice and cool, but I don't think that cold front's come in yet.
Kind of wish the day job would let me wear shorts during the day so I didn't have to be so stuffy in here. But here's Raggets with the kickoff. It is a line squibber kick, takes a bounce at the 25, and the ball is still loose on the turf, but recovered by Belleville. And the returner brings it across the 35, maybe just short of the 35-yard line. We'll see where they spot it out of bounds. But Belleville takes possession, trailing 22-20 after the Arrows take the lead on their first possession of the third quarter.
Yeah, the ball kicked to the return man, and it kind of skidded away from him. He's picked it up and still got an 11-yard return, so he made something out of nothing.
All spotted at the 32-yard line as quarterback Raiden Taylor lines up in the pistol. Three receivers to the left side, but they'll give it inside to Myers, and Myers gets past the line and into the second level before being tackled from behind by number 69, Michael Kruel. Just short of the Big Iron Realty first down sticks, but it looks like there's an injured Wildcat at the 35-yard line. And can't see the jersey number of the Belleville player who's down.
No, I can't either.
And
looks like a cramp.
I was going to say, looks a lot more serious initially because he wasn't moving, but appears to be a cramp, which, again, early part of the season with the hot weather and not a lot of playing time, conditioning. See cramping in these early games.
Yep. So I said last night we had one stoppage for cramping, and that was it for the whole game. So
Yep, this is the third cramping injury that we've had today. Lancaster had them on their touchdown drives. But while they tend to the injured player, we'll tell you that our game is brought to you by Rural Mutual Agents John Regenson and Dean Dahl with the Regenson Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster. Also by Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Also by the dental office located in Lancaster. The dental office is a trusted name for high-quality family dental care, proud to be the preferred provider of dentistry in Lancaster. And by West End Salvage of Lancaster, see Junkyard Joe Krantz and the West End Salvage team for recycling, as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. And it looks like the injured player will attempt to go on all fours, and that is number 69, Isaac Patro, one of the linemen, a 6'2 senior. And it looks like we are set to resume play with 7:42 to go in the third quarter. Lancaster 22, Belleville 20. 2nd and 2. 3 receivers split out to the left side of the formation, 1 receiver to the right, a pistol look for quarterback Raiden Taylor. Myers lined up right behind him, and they give to Myers with a head of steam, gets across the line of scrimmage and across the 45-yard line for a Big Iron Realty first down. Forward progress should put the football at the 46 or 47-yard line, and it looks like it will be the 47. First down, Belleville.
Yeah, he picked up 4 yards on that nice head-on drive.
Closing in on 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Four wide receivers set, 2 to each side. Myers the running back to the right side. Taylor dropping back to pass, a high arcing throw, and pass is going to fall incomplete. Overshot his intended receiver, Cooper Nemick. Cooper Nemick is fast, but not that fast, and the pass will fall incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was way out of his reach.
Good play design. He did get some separation, but
yes,
pass was overshot.
Yep. Receiver had about 3 steps on a defender.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Another pistol look for the Wildcats on 2nd and 10. Taylor fakes it inside, now trying to bounce it to the left, but a great tackle by Lucas Weber, the sophomore, having a great game so far for the Arrows defensively. He's had a couple key tackles and an interception, making his presence felt on that play. Sets up 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
Yes, he came in and filled like he's supposed to. He came up and nice wrap-up tackle right at the knees. Quarterback couldn't break it. Only picks up 2.
Ball spot at the 48-yard line, 3rd and 8, 6:20 to go in the third quarter, 22-20. Lancaster lead, and the snap is low, goes through the legs of the quarterback, Raiden Taylor, but he's able to recover it and save it from giving the Arrows excellent field position, but it's 4th down, and the Wildcats will punt it away. And a miscue by the Wildcats now suddenly swings the momentum officially in Lancaster's direction.
Yes, it did. That was 11-yard or 9-yard miscue.
As Nemec does get this punt away, it's a high spiral, then decides to go end over end, and Lucas Weber calls fair catch at the Lancaster 30-yard line, and the Arrows will take possession. 5:43 left to go in the third quarter. Lancaster trying to continue the momentum. They cashed in on their first drive of the third quarter, capping off an 8-play drive with a Toy Raggets 29-yard touchdown run, and then the 2-point conversion from Raggets to Taylor Williams.
Yeah, and again, Lancaster's going to have decent field position. They're on their own 32-yard line, but it gives them the option to do a little bit more than if they were further deeper in their own territory.
2 receivers to each side. And Nolan Hankey lined up in the fullback spot behind Toy Raggets. 1st and 10. Raggets with the snap, rolling to his left, thinks about pitching, but then decides to keep it, gets it across the 35-yard line to about the 37. Gain of at least 5, maybe 6, depending on how much forward progress they give them. It'll be second and medium. Say the 37-yard line, gain of 5, second and 5. Game tonight brought to you by Northland Buildings. For a quality Northland building built tough of the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post frame buildings.
Looking at the clock, we're almost down under 5 minutes. This third quarter is going a lot quicker than the first quarter.
Yeah, no kidding. Two receivers again to each side. Fake inside to Hankey, and Raggets decides to keep it. Able to get across the line of scrimmage. A flag comes in. 2 flags on the play, actually, and we'll see what the calls are going to be here. And if the play stands, Raggets able to get it across the 40 to about the 43-yard line near the first down sticks.
They call a face mask? Looks like it. Might have been touching the face mask, 5-yard penalty.
So that will add 5 yards to the end of the play, and that's enough for a Big Iron Realty first down. That will put the football at the Lancaster 48-yard line. First and 10 for the Arrows. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Toy Raggets looking towards the sideline to get the play call. And Raggets will go under center. Raggets looking to his right. Takes the snap. Going to roll to his right. Thinking about pitching. Spins away from one defender. Gets across the 50. And back to the middle of the field. Ball pops out. And who's got the ball? Belleville says they have it, but the Arrows keep it.
Number 70.
Preston Clemens with the recovery for the Arrows. Keeping the possession after a nice gain. Ball in Belleville territory at about the 47-yard line. Raggets with the play, set to break the huddle. 2nd and 6, 3:50 to go in the third quarter. 22-20, Lancaster on top. Arrows driving it in Belleville territory. Give inside to Hankey, and Hankey trying to spin away from his defender. Still on his feet. Somehow, some way. I don't know how he was able to stay upright, but gets it across the 40-yard line to about the 38. A Big Iron Realty first down. Muscle and effort leading the way for Nolan Hankey that time.
He kept his legs churning, and that's what all coaches want their running backs to do as they're getting hit. Just keep those feet moving, and that's what he did and got those extra yards.
Boy, the second efforts and the broken tackles. Nolan Hankey making his presence felt. Another give inside to Hankey on first down. Gets it close to the 35-yard line. Called a gain of 3, maybe 4, depending on the spot. And another cramping injury for Belleville, and this one appears to be very painful for the player down on the turf. And the trainers will tend to him. Injury timeout with 3:02 left to play in the third quarter. Lancaster 22, Belleville 20. We'll take a quick timeout as well. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Southwest Tech is excited to announce a new precision agronomy program designed to equip students with cutting-edge skills in agricultural technology, crop management, and data-driven decision-making. This innovative program combines classroom instruction with hands-on experience on their newly acquired 80 acres of cropland. Graduates of the precision agronomy program have a variety of career paths within Wisconsin's robust ag sector. Don't wait. Take the next step today. Learn more and apply for the precision agronomy program now at swtc.edu.
Scenic Rivers Energy Cooperative invites you to the Crawford County Fair this week in Gays Mills. Enjoy exciting grandstand events. Thursday, it's the Challenge to the Champions Bull Ride. Friday, the Tri-State Truck and Tractor Pull. Saturday, see the Antique Tractor Pull and the popular Demolition Derby. Sunday, don't miss the Crawford County Fair Car Show. Plus, Animal Auction Saturday at 3. Visit Crawford County Fair, Wisconsin on Facebook. This invitation is provided by Scenic Rivers Energy Cooperative.
In Game 7.
Isaac Patro of Belleville, the injured player again. Another cramping injury will send him to the sideline as we will pick up the action with 3:02 to play in the third quarter. Lancaster 22, Belleville 20. 2nd and 7 for the Arrows. Play number 5 of the drive. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line in Belleville territory. Another give inside to Hankey, and Hankey churning his legs again, diving forward close to the 30-yard line. Gain of at least 5 should set up 3rd and about 2, maybe 3. And they will say he's down at the 32, so a gain of 4.
Two down territory. So they don't have to get everything right here. So keep it simple.
Curious if they go right back to Hankey. He's been the workhorse on this drive. Raggets trying to get him to jump off sides. Belleville doesn't break the neutral zone. Raggets going back under center. Raggets with the snap, rolling to his left, looking to pitch it, and the ball is picked up by Belleville, and this will be brought back. Running all the way is Kason Helwig. He'll go in untouched. Touchdown, Belleville. And just like that, Belleville swings the momentum and takes the lead 26-22. A miss on the pitch and a fumble recovery returned for a touchdown. A scoop and score for the Wildcats puts them in the lead.
Again, a miscue by Lancaster. It's going to be costly.
A Northland Buildings touchdown off the Lancaster Dental and Fenimore Smiles turnover, 26-22. Our new score with 1:58 to play in the third quarter. Tyler Miyamoto, I would normally lay out for the PAT, but it looks like they will go for 2 to try to make it a 6-point game. 2 receivers to the right. 1 to the left, and a wing back to the left side of the formation. Taylor in the pistol. Taylor takes a snap, gives inside to Myers, but nowhere to go as big number 70, Preston Clemens, breaks through to make the tackle. Score remains 26-22. Belleville on top. 1:58 left to play in the third quarter. Back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
If you suffer from chronic sinus infections known as sinusitis and over-the-counter medicine or prescriptions aren't helping, you might be a candidate for balloon sinuplasty, an innovative, non-invasive outpatient procedure now available at Grant Regional Health Center. This treatment can gently and safely widen the sinuses, allow drainage, and provide long-term relief for chronic sufferers. Visit our website, grantregional.com/ENT to learn more. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
This fall, there's only one place to be, Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin football returns with can't-miss matchups, including Maryland, Iowa, Washington, and more. From the first touchdown to jump around in the celebration of the fifth quarter. Experience the traditions and unforgettable memories that make Wisconsin football so special. Single-game tickets are now on sale. Lock in your spot today by visiting uwbadgers.com. or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Wisconsin football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
In game 8.
Brady Funcess kickoff goes out of bounds, and I believe the Arrows will take the football at the 35-yard line to begin their next possession after they turn the ball over. Belleville scoring a touchdown off a fumble and bringing it all the way to the house to make the score 26-22 with 1:58 left to play in the third quarter. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolzman with you from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, or beg your pardon, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Almost made it through the game without slipping that one up.
Yeah. It's tough to change.
Force of habit. 2 receivers to each side of the formation for the Arrows at the 35-yard line. And Raggets with a pass over the middle. Pass is caught across the 50 to the 45 and to the 35-yard line. A nice catch and run for Taylor Williams. And Taylor Williams appears to be hurt now for the Arrows. An explosive play, but maybe another cramping injury for the Arrows as the trainer comes out to tend to him.
If I got it right, 33 yards on that pass play.
They go from their own 35 to the Belleville 34. Boy, that was a nice pass over the middle, and Williams able to make the catch and get some rack yards. But it looks like that left leg cramping up a bit, and trainer stretching him out so that he can stay in the game, hopefully.
Well, he's going to have to come out for one play. But being a cramp, sometimes those take a little bit longer to get out. You may walk off the field, and all of a sudden it'll start cramping up again in that calf. And those, when you get a calf cramp, those things can really hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see him shaking his calf. He's trying to shake it out and make the pain go away. Well, they tend to Taylor Williams. The cellular game is brought to you by Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. And by Claire Bank, with the rate convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main in Platteville. See Herms's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herms's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. Also by Russell Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's gets the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster, and by McNutt Electric in Belmont. They can assist with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNutt Electric are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNutt Electric in Belmont. Taylor Williams still down on the field. So they bring him some water as well. Coach Jordan Rowland out on the field, checking on his two-way player as well. And that's the other thing about this, Scott, is that when you have injured players at this level of high school football, you got players that play on both sides. One injury equals a two-player loss, one on each side of the ball.
And that is correct. And I was just thinking back in the days of when I played ball. I'm not going to say when, but I remember getting the salt tablets from our coaches at the end of practice on those hot August days, and then keeps us from cramping up during games. But even on the sidelines during games, we'd have the salt tablets.
Yeah, Taylor Williams is still on the turf after a very explosive play on the last play that put the Arrows in Belleville territory at the 34-yard line. 26-22 is the score. Belleville just took the lead on the Arrows after Lancaster had the ball. Toy Raggets tried to pitch it out to Hankey, and ball hit the turf, and Kason Hellwig of Belleville with a scoop and score to put Belleville on top, 26-22, with 1:51 to play in the third quarter. And looks like Taylor Williams will be helped to his feet finally. And two of his teammates will help carry him to the sideline. You have to think it's not just a cramp. Yeah, he can't put any weight on that left leg, it looks like. But we'll pick up the action. Clock is running. We're at 1:45 now. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Raggets on the keeper, trying to bounce it to the right side, but runs into Trey Myers at the 30-yard line. Maybe forward progress, puts it at the 29. Actually, the backside of the football touching the 30. Called a gain of 4. Should be 2nd and 6.
Now Belleville has a player with a cramp, and one of his players is carrying him off.
Yeah, Cooper Nemec is carrying Jackson Fay to the Belleville sideline. Clock is stopped with 90 seconds left to play in the third quarter. 26-22, Belleville on top. But the Arrows on the drive at the 30-yard line, 2nd and 6 coming up. Ball spotted in the middle of the field. Lancaster with 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Nolan Hankey lined up behind Raggets. Raggets takes a snap, fake inside to Hankey, trying to bounce it to the left side, gets across the left guard to the 25-yard line, still on his feet to the 20 before being gang tackled. That should be enough for Big Iron Realty first down and maybe just knocking on the door of the Biotech green zone.
Well, 7-yard gain for a first down, keeps the drive going.
Yeah, it looks like the 22-yard line, so a gain of 8. First and 10 at the 22 on the far side hash mark. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Fake inside to Hankey, but Raggets is going to keep it. Finds a hole in the middle of the line of scrimmage and gets it across the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Should be a gain of about 5. They'll put it back to the 15. Gain of 7, yep.
Yep. I think they'll run the clock out here and not run another play. I know they're hustling up, but they don't have to really run a play. Well, they're going to do it.
Yeah, with 7 seconds left to play in the quarter, and it give inside to Hankey, but Hankey has nowhere to go. As number 26, Marcus Hebgen, in on the tackle, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. It will be 3rd and about 5 coming up for the Arrows.
3rd and 2.
3rd and 2. When we pick up the action in the fourth quarter. 26-22, Belleville on top. Fourth quarter coming up next on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In game 9.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors, combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont and Prairie du Chien.
In game 9.
Belleville 26, Lancaster 22. Start of the fourth quarter. It is 3rd and 3 for the Arrows at the Belleville 11-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Toy Raggets under center. Gives inside to Hankey. Hankey twists his way across the 10 to the 8, and that is enough for Big Iron Realty first down, 1st and goal for the Arrows. 11:53 to play in the fourth quarter. And a big possession for the Arrows. Scott trying to take the lead.
Yes. And as long as they don't have any miscues here and take the lead, you know, they've been doing a good job of keeping Belleville away from the football, except for that one bad miscue.
7th play of this drive. And Raggets gives inside to Hankey, and Hankey runs into a pack of Wildcats, but still stays on his feet and pushes the pile across the 5. And we'll see where they spot this one. When you're in those scrums at the line of scrimmage, it kind of depends on when the whistle was blown and where the player was at, and it looks like the nose of the football touching the 5-yard line. Called a gain of 3, 2nd and goal. 26-22, Belleville on top, now under 11 minutes to play in the game. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Raggets again will go under center. Nolan Hankey, the lone back. Hankey in a 3-point stance. They'll get the Carey, trying to bounce it off the right tackle, and another swarm of defenders there for Belleville to make the stop. I believe Trey Meyer's the first one there. 3rd and goal at the 4, maybe 3-yard line, depending on how much forward progress they give them. Football looks to be at the 4-yard line. Toy Raggets gets the call from head coach Jordan Rolland. He'll go into the huddle. 10:05 to play in the fourth quarter, 26-22. Belleville on top, but the Arrows knocking on the door. Raggets under center. 2 receivers left. And Raggets fakes it inside to Hankey, but able to find the goal line. Is he in? Yes, he is. That is a Northland Buildings touchdown for the Lancaster Flying Arrows. Go-ahead touchdown for Toy Raggets, makes it 28-26 with 9:49 left to play in the game. A big-time touchdown for Toy Raggets, and the Arrows go in front. Caps off a 9-play drive.
We got another injury down. Looks like a Lancaster player. Again, looking at the calf area. And was just checking on the Brewers. The Giants had bases loaded with 2 outs. Brewers able to stop them from scoring, so still 2-2.
Other shoebox scoreboard updates from our area high school games on X1071. Darlington leads Platteville 42-27 after the 3rd quarter. And in the beginning of the 4th quarter on Super Hits 106 in the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, Potosi Cassville with a 27-0 lead on the Cubans.
And that's surprising a little bit. And then last I looked, Dodgeville and Mineral Point. Mineral Point was up 14-0.
And the last update that we had between Southwestern East Dubuque and Blackhawk Warren, the halftime score, Blackhawk Warren was leading the Warcats 14-7. And we're trying to see who the injured player is for Lancaster. Can't see the jersey number from our vantage point. But the player down at the goal line.
57?
Maybe Steele Nelson, a freshman.
I don't think it's 67. They got the hand right on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another leg injury.
Yep, 57.
Yep, so Stell Nelson will be carried to the Lancaster sideline, and they will go for 2 after the go-ahead touchdown by Toy Raggets from 4 yards out. Makes it 28-26 with 9:49 left to go in the game. And here comes the point and flush, 2-point conversion. One receiver to each side. Raggets quick pass to the far side. Pass is broken up and incomplete. Great reaction by number 12, Tyler Miyamoto. Closed in quickly to swat the ball down. 2-point conversion is no good. Score remains 28-26 with 9:49 left to play in the 4th quarter. We'll step aside and come back after this on 97.7 Country, WGLR, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the hygiene brand of products, as well as other dairy hygiene products. Make your operation more efficient and profitable, and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and FullersMilkerCenter.com.
It's summertime, so that means it's also fair season. All of us here at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore proudly support our local farm families and wish the best of luck to all of our area farming youth who have worked hard on their crafts, projects, and animals, and hope they have a successful fair season. I personally look forward to seeing all of the exhibits and enjoy seeing the smiles on the faces of the kids as they show their animals and are able to be rewarded for their hard work. So stop on out to your local fair this summer and see what it has to offer. We hope to see you there.
In game 10.
Lancaster 28, Belleville 26. The ensuing kickoff is going to go out of bounds on the far sideline, so Belleville will take possession at their own 35-yard line to begin their next offensive series. Lancaster getting a 4-yard touchdown run from Toy Raggets. 2-point conversion, no good. Arrows up by 2 with 9:49 left to play in the fourth quarter. Tyler Dictanis and Scott Tolson with you from the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors.
This is Belleville's only second possession of the second half.
Comes with 9:49 left in the game, and a give to Trey Myers, and that play is blown up in the backfield. I believe Nolan Hankey got there first, but then it was number 70, Preston Clemens, finishing the play. Big loss of yardage on the play, loss of 5. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line, 2nd and 15 coming up.
Yeah, huge play. Bad snap, and it kind of just blew up the whole play.
Belleville going with a 4 wide receiver set, 2 to each side of the formation. Trey Myers lined up to the right of quarterback Raiden Taylor. Taylor looking to his right before the snap. Snap is low, drops back to pass, looks left, now over the middle, has time. Now rolling right, looking for someone to pass to, and he's going to throw it out of bounds, and a Pink's penalty flag is down. Is that going to be grounding?
No, it's going to be holding. And here's an example of what was changed last year. The holding penalty was in the backfield, but it goes back from the line of scrimmage, the 10 yards. So now they have to decide if they want to take it or not.
Yeah, do you want to give them one chance to get 15 or 2 chances to get 25?
Yeah, it'll bring up 3rd down. Me, I would be declining it. You already got them behind the sticks.
And it appears to be the case. Scoreboard says it's 3rd and 15 with 8:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Lancaster 28, Belleville 26. Week number 1 of high school football non-conference matchup and a rematch from last year's sectional championship game, level 3 as it was formerly known. And the penalty is officially declined, so it is 3rd and 15. Four wide receiver set again for Belleville. 2 to each side. Trey Myers lined up to the right of Taylor. Taylor with the snap, dropping back, pressure coming. Dumps it off, and the pass is low, incomplete. Pass at the feet of the running back, Trey Myers. Tried to do a little slip screen, but the ball falls short, and it's going to be 4th and 15. Belleville will punt it away.
Yeah, good play call, but the ball was way too low for the receiver and fell to the ground.
Lancaster brought a lot of pressure on that play, too, and this punt by Cooper Nemec does get away, and Lucas Weber calls fair catch at the Lancaster 42-yard line. Actually, make that the 44.
About 8.5 minutes left to go in the game. Now I would just keep it to Raggets and Nolan Hankey and just keep pounding on the line and let them finish it off here.
Yeah, you've had the body blows and teams starting to get a little bit fatigued. We've seen a lot of cramping, so see if the Arrows will just attack the teeth of this Belleville defense. As the Arrows come out with a 4 wide receiver set of their own, Raggets under center. Raggets fakes to Hankey, dropping back to pass, looking to his left. Now gets rolled to his right, dumps it off, finds Hankey at the 50. 50 with some room, gets it across the 40, and Hankey gets tackled down at the Belleville 37-yard line. Great job by Hankey finding a soft spot in the zone, makes the catch, turns it upfield. A Big Iron Realty first down for the Arrows with 8.5 minutes left to play in the game. 28-26, Arrows on top.
Well, my ideas don't come to fruition there. Like I said, as an old coach, I'd be running the ball right now. Chew that clock up.
Another 1st and 10, 4 wide receiver set. They do get to Hankey this time, and Hankey with a head of steam across the 35 to about the 34. And it'll be a gain of at least 3. Should be 2nd and 7. Ball spotted right in the middle of the field at the 34. Under 8 minutes left to play, 28-26. Arrows on top, in possession of the football. And again, you just don't want to have a mental miscue or anything like that.
Nope.
I'd almost say like avoid the pitch plays and stuff like that. We've seen that backfire.
Yep. And I would chew the clock up and wait till the ref starts counting before you get down in your cadence.
Raggets with the snap, gives inside to Hankey, and Hankey falls forward to about the 32. Another gain of 2 yards on the play brings up 3rd and 5. 7:10 remaining and counting. Our game tonight brought to you by Community First Bank. Free in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. 3rd and 5 for Lancaster at the Belleville 32-yard line. 6:45 left. Arrows up by 2. Raggets under center. Raggets gives inside to Hankey. Hankey makes a nice jump cut at the line. Gets inside the 20 to the 10 and spun down at the 10-yard line. Another Big Iron Realty first down for the Arrows. Should be 1st and goal for Lancaster, as they do spot the football right at the 10-yard line.
22-yard pickup.
Clock continues to run. We're at 6:25 and counting. Arrows leading 28-26. And looking to potentially deliver a knockout blow. 2 to each side of the formation again. Raggets will go under center. Raggets gives inside to Hankey, but the defense stands tall for Belleville as number 57, Garrett Pauley, in on the tackle. And
about gain of 3 the way it looks.
Yeah, 2, maybe 3. Looks like it's at the 8-yard line. 5:37 and counting in the 4th quarter. Lancaster 28, Belleville 26. Lancaster on the verge of scoring. 2nd and goal. Raggets fakes it to Hankey, trying to bounce it left, but there's 3 Wildcats there to make the tackle. Wrapping up the feet is number 5, Trey Myers. And Cooper Nemec in on the tackle as well. It'll be 3rd and goal for Lancaster with 5:10 remaining. Obviously, 4-down territory, you don't have a field goal kicker.
Nope.
Yeah, if you can't score, at least Belleville will be pinned very deep. So we'll see what the Arrows draw up here on 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Ball on the near side hash mark. 3 receivers stacked to the right side, 1 to the left. Raggets fakes it, now dumps it off to Hankey. A jump ball, pass knocked down, incomplete, but there is a Pink's penalty flag in the backfield, and it is a hold against Lancaster.
Now, here's a situation. Do you move them back and give them another down, or you decline it here and put it up 4th down?
Lancaster with 2 timeouts, Belleville with 3. The clock is stopped with 4:40 to go.
And it looks like Belleville's going to decline it to make it 4th down.
So Coach Mike Nolden going to trust his defense to get the stop. It's 4th and goal at the 8-yard line. Ball the near side hash mark. 3 receivers bunched off the right side of the formation. Aiden Wilson, the lone receiver, to the left. Raggets under center. Raggets with the snap. Quick fade pass to the right side. Pass for Taylor Williams. Pass is incomplete. Great coverage on the outside by Tyler Miyamoto. Taylor Williams unable to pull it in, and now Belleville will take possession with 4:35 left in the fourth quarter, trailing by 2, deep in their own territory. They have to go 91 yards and put 6 on the board.
And in high school ball, that distance is hard to do. Unless they get one big chunk play, which Lancaster's got to make sure they don't give up.
Oh, we saw Lancaster go with the trick play in the first play of the game. We'll see if Belleville has something drawn up as Taylor gets the snap. Quick pass to the far side. Pass is caught. And a gang tackle at about the 12-yard line. Should be a gain of at least 3, maybe 4, depending on the spot. Clock continues to run with 4:20 remaining. And Belleville looks like they're not going to huddle. They're just going to go to the line.
Looked like they were setting up the hook and ladder.
Say the football's at the 10-yard line. So only a gain of 1 on that last play. Taylor with a snap. Quick toss to the near side, and Myers trips as he was trying to cut up field. The Turf Monster got him. I don't know how many tackles the Turf Monster gets credit for, but no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 9 from the 10-yard line. They have to get to their own 19-yard line for a Big Iron Realty first down, and 3.5 minutes left to play in the game. Two receivers to each side of the formation. Pistol look this time for quarterback Raiden Taylor. Cooper Nemec going in motion from the right side slot. Here's the snap. It's a little bit low, but pressure coming. Pass on the far side of the field is going to be just incomplete.
Oof.
Looks like it was Cooper Nemec, the intended receiver on that far side. And that ball just sailed just a little bit too far out of bounds. 4th down coming up for Belleville.
Yeah, and on that play, Lancaster actually ran a receiver over, but the ball was underthrown and was coming to the second receiver. That was behind him, so.
And number 22, Declan Clark of Lancaster, he broke through, and I thought he was going to get there, but the pass got away just in time. And Belleville is going to line up to punt. And the punt by Nemec will take a bounce and will be downed at the Belleville 38-yard line with 2:53 to play in the game. Lancaster up 28-26. And Lancaster potentially a couple first downs away from closing this game out.
Yes.
Belleville with all 3 timeouts remaining, Lancaster with 2. I think that's definitely why Coach Nolden was content with punting. And seeing if his defense can make another stop. 4 wide receivers set again for the Arrows, 2 to each side of the formation. Raggets under center. Raggets fakes inside, now trying to bounce it left. Cuts back upfield, but runs into 2 defenders just beyond the line of scrimmage. Gets about 3 yards on the play. Should be about 2nd and a short 8, long 7. Nose of the football just short of the 35-yard line.
Now it's really time to take your time here. Wait till the official starts to count. Use that clock.
Clock continues to run. Belleville choosing not to use one of those 3 timeouts just yet. But imagine a big defensive play here. They'll start using it now. 2 receivers to each side again. Raggets under center. Raggets gives to Hankey, and Hankey gets wrapped up from behind. A great tackle there by number 26, Marcus Hebgen. And Belleville will spend one of those 3 timeouts here with 1:59 left to play. It'll be 3rd and about
5.
3rd and 5, maybe 6. Actually, 3rd and about 4. Ball at the 34-yard line. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Again, Lancaster 28, Belleville 26. Arrows trying to get a first down to potentially put the game on ice. Belleville trying to come up with a stop in what has been a game that's had a little bit of everything here tonight, Scott.
Yes.
It's been a fun back-and-forth game. We didn't have a running clock, a very competitive game, fortunately for us here in week number 1.
Yes, it was. 2 decent teams battling it out. Both have aspirations to win their conference. Belleville and the Swall, Lancaster and SWC. It's hard for me to say Belleville's and the Swall.
Right, yeah.
When they've been in the capital for so many years.
And this is the last year in the Swall for Belleville. As we pick up the action with 3rd and 5. Raggets rolling to his right. Trying to cut it back upfield. Spins away from one defender, still on his feet. And the ball is loose on the turf. And who's got it? Belleville says they've got it. And now Lancaster says they've got it. Who's got the ball? The officials are conversing at the 32-yard line.
They're going to say he was down, way it looks.
And an official's timeout. With 1:27 to play. This is the ball game.
Yeah, and you got to know when to give up, not try to do something more than you have to. You're winning the game. You're just trying to chew up the clock here. And I think the coach is letting his quarterback know that.
The ball is at the 25-yard line. And it is a Big Iron Realty first down, and it is Lancaster ball. The sticks on the far side of the field indicate that it's a first down for Lancaster. Now the clock starts to wind. And Toy Raggets brings the offense to the line of scrimmage. Raggets will go under center.
He should just down it.
Raggets is going to bounce it to his left side. Runs into a defender, falls to the turf, gets it inside the 20. Another stop in the Bitech green zone for the Arrows. And clock is stopped with 1:16. I believe Belleville spending one of those 2 remaining timeouts here.
Yes.
That'll give us a chance to tell you that our game is brought to you by Rural Mutual Agents John Raggets and Deneen Dahl with Raggets & Dahl Insurance Group, tackling all of your farm, personal, business, and life insurance needs. Call them today at their office in Lancaster. Also by Mount City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. After the game, we'll have the Reeves Wealth Management and Edward Jones post-game show. We'll pick out our Herms's Ace Hardware MVP of the game, our Les Mack drive of the game, Tricor Turning Point, and the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game. A lot to sort through in post-game. But 1:16 left to play here. It's 28-26. Lancaster on top of Belleville. 2nd and 5 at the 20-yard line. Raggets gives inside to Hankey. Hankey trying to bounce it left and cuts it back upfield to about the 15. And that should be close to Big Iron Realty first down. We'll see where they put the football just short of the 15-yard line. Should be 3rd and 1. And Belleville spends their final timeout. Fun game here in week number 1. As Belleville essentially 1 yard away from avenging the playoff loss from a year ago, starting the campaign 1-0. But the Arrow fans also kind of holding their breath because it hasn't been the cleanest game either. Two receivers left, one to the right, and now a timeout taken by Lancaster. Probably trying to see what Belleville was going to line up defensively.
But I do like one thing. They sure have cleaned up their penalties. Like I said earlier, watching them the last couple of years, penalties just killed this team. And this year, right now, it looks like they're going to end up with, they had 4 penalties, 2 got declined, but that's pretty good. Just all the other miscues.
Yeah, ball security is going to be a big point of emphasis in the next week for Lancaster, that's for sure.
Yes, and catching the ball.
Yep.
This game might be different if they were able to hang on to the ball.
Coming out of the Arrows timeout, they've got 1 remaining if they need it. But it's 3rd and 1 with 1:10 to play. Lancaster up by 2, essentially 1 yard away from closing the game out. Raggets with the snap, tries to bounce it right, and lost his footing momentarily, but I think he got the ball across the 15, and that should be enough for a first down. And it is a Big Iron Realty first down, and that will do it.
Even if he didn't get the first down, Belleville was out of timeouts, so
there wouldn't have been a lot of time for Belleville if it was a turnover on downs. But the Arrows had to grind this one out. And Toy Raggets will put his team in victory formation. Take a knee. And put the Arrows to 1-0 on the campaign. Raggets takes a snap, takes a step back, knee touches the turf, and the clock continues to run. The final score here in Lancaster, Arrows 28, Belleville 26. Arrows go to 1-0 to begin the season, and they will host Cuba City. Next week, another playoff rematch from a year ago. We'll have that game right here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Scott and I will be here for that. Belleville goes to 0-1, and they take on New Glarus in week number 2. Again, the final, 28-26, Lancaster defeats Belleville. We will have the Reeves Wealth Management and Edward Jones postgame show coming up next on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Post-game,
Hi,
4
this
minutes.
is Steve Schmidt, owner of the Shoebox in downtown Black Earth. We have thousands of pairs of shoes in stock, no waiting. So stop in anytime, specializing in size, selection, and fit. We will save you money. P.S. We measure both feet. Stop into the Shoebox, the largest shoe store at the north end of Black Earth.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
I'm here with Kyle Wiskus from Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Kyle, it seems like hybrids are dominating the roads, but there aren't many charging locations in Dubuque.
Agreed. Luckily, Toyota hybrids don't require plug-in charging. The Toyota hybrid system is built to charge while the vehicle is being driven, so there's no need for plug-in charging.
What about the battery life? Should people be worried about its longevity?
Not at all. Toyota has sold over 5 million hybrids in the last 25 years. Plus, their battery warranty covers you for 10 years or 150,000 miles.
How does regular maintenance on a hybrid compare to a gas model?
Toyota hybrid vehicles require the same maintenance as gas-powered models and oftentimes even less. For example, the hybrid model's regenerative braking charges the battery even while slowing down the vehicle, increasing the life of the vehicle's brake pads.
Wow, it seems like there are a lot of benefits in choosing a hybrid Toyota. Visit Anderson Weber in Dubuque to learn more and take a test drive today.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Tricor Insurance works with leading insurance carriers like Auto Owners Insurance to provide honest and reliable service when you need it most.
For one, I want them to know that they're not alone. They know that no matter what happens when it comes up, that they can count on us to assist them through that process, whatever it may be.
Tricor and Auto Owners Insurance for your home, auto, and more. Visit TricorInsurance.com to find an agent near you.
It's August, and that means school's almost back. But there's still time to enjoy a visit to the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium. The River Museum is showing appreciation to educators this month with $10 off your admission with school ID at the box office. Explore interactive exhibits, get up close with fascinating creatures, and immerse yourself in history in ways only the River Museum can provide. It's our way of saying thank you for all you do. Learn more about our education programs at rivermuseum.org.
The agriculture programs at Southwest Tech offer a variety of career training in the areas of dairy, livestock, and mechanics. Pursue a degree in production agriculture to obtain diverse careers, including herd manager, farm equipment manager, custom operator, and more. Receive hands-on training through farm tours, operation, and management of the college's crop ground. Learn more at swtc.edu/ag. Southwest Tech. This is where you belong.
Your high school postgame show is brought to you by Elena and Ben Reeves at Edward Jones, a financial service firm serving individuals and business owners.
Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Lancaster Flying Arrows go to 1-0 on the season, taking down the Belleville Wildcats 28-26 in a fun non-conference matchup to kick off the 2025 high school football season. Welcome to the Reed's Wealth Management at Edward Jones postgame show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tyler Ducanis and Scott Tolzien from the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Let's recap what we saw in this game. It was a hot start for the Arrows to begin. Belleville elected to receive to begin the game, but they punted after 4 plays. Lancaster would score on their first offensive play, a Toy Raggets to Edom Wilson 61-yard touchdown strike. 2-point conversion, no good. Lancaster led 6-0 with 10:29 to play in the first quarter. Belleville's next possession resulted in a Lucas Weber interception, picking it off for the Arrows and setting up with great field position. And 2 plays later, a 17-yard touchdown run for Nolan Hankey. 2-point conversion was good to make the score 14-0. That was our score at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, Belleville scored 20 unanswered points, a 7-yard touchdown run by Trent Myers, followed by a 56-yard touchdown pass from Taylor to Cooper Nemec, and then a 38-yard touchdown strike from Taylor to Nemec to make the score 20-14 heading into the half. Lancaster received the second half kickoff and went on an 8-play drive that resulted in a 29-yard touchdown run for Toy Raggets. The 2-point conversion was good. A high-point 2-point conversion in the corner of the end zone for Taylor Williams made the score 22-20. Belleville would punt the ball away on their next possession, and then Lancaster had the ball for 5 plays before Toy Raggets had a mishap on the pitch, resulting in a scoop and score touchdown for Kason Hellwig of Belleville Belleville would take the lead 26-22. That would be our score heading into the fourth. Lancaster would then score on a 4-yard touchdown run by Toy Raggets to make the score 28-26. And both teams alternated punts and turnovers on possession. And Lancaster was able to lead out the clock, force Belleville to use their final timeouts in the final few minutes of the game and grind out a 28-26 win to go to 1-0 and avenge the loss from the postseason to the Belleville Wildcats a year ago. Scott, like we said, a little bit of everything in this game. Not the cleanest game by any stretch. You kind of expect that in week number one. Obviously, some things for both teams to improve on. But as far as a test of mental fortitude and what you want to see competitive-wise from your team, an outstanding matchup for both these teams here tonight.
Yes, it was. Both teams fought really hard. Belleville coming back after they got down 14-0, were able to sustain a couple drives and get some scores. They take the lead going into halftime. Lancaster comes out, scores, takes the lead, and Lancaster's driving again, and you think about what another score might just do it, and by that a bad pitch and a scoop and score, and Belleville's back in the leads. So it was a back and forth game between them all. They both can look at this film and say, here's some good things, here are some bad things, and here are the things we got to clean up. Belleville definitely had more penalties than Lancaster, but it's the miscues, the drop balls, the bad handoffs that resulted in fumbles. That's got to get cleaned up.
Yep, and as you were mentioning throughout the game, what's been an Achilles heel for Lancaster the last couple seasons has been penalties, especially in the early part of the season. But penalties, relatively clean here tonight. It's just, making sure to secure the football and take care of the football in some key situations.
Yep.
All right, and we have some victorious Lancaster Flying Arrows in the Air Furniture broadcast booth, and we'll first chat with Nolan Hankey. Nolan, congratulations on the win, and you guys definitely had to grind this one out, as we were just talking about. Not the cleanest game by any stretch, but kind of a test of mental fortitude, and you guys answered the call and got the win against the team that eliminated you guys a year ago. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw out there and what went right for you guys here tonight.
Well, I know right away we had a big start, kind of got down on ourselves after. They started coming back. Just got to keep going, keep pushing. Mental toughness. As soon as we went through and everybody kind of got back up, just kept pounding. They were too tired. They couldn't stop us.
Yeah, but it really felt like, especially in the third quarter, it was kind of between you and Toy Raggets, kind of secure the football, kind of go to the ground and pound type of game. Tell us what was said during halftime, because, you guys had the 14-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. They scored 20 unanswered points, but you guys answered right back with a touchdown drive to open up the third quarter. Take us through what you guys discussed and what things went right for you after the halftime break.
Biggest thing was we need to keep the intensity high and not show that we're tired. A lot of guys were showing that they were tired. Changed a couple little things and just kept at it, and it worked.
Yep, and you were definitely the workhorse in the second half. What's it like, being able to be trusted to, handle the football and grind out some tough yards and kind of move the sticks and kind of bleed out the clock, especially in the fourth quarter and in key situations?
It's a good feeling knowing that they have their trust in me and they're relying on me to do what I need to do for them. A good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win. Thanks for joining us on our post-game show, and we'll see you guys next week against Cuba City. All right, that's Nolan Hankey joining us on our post-game show. And we'll also talk with the victorious quarterback, Toy Raggets. Toy, congratulations on the win. Your first start at quarterback on the season, sir. And getting a win against the opponent that eliminated Lancaster a season ago. Talk about what this first start was like for you, and what's it like to get the win in week number one.
Yes, sir. It means a lot. Be trusted to play both ways, and we really took pride in this game since they ended our season last year, and it was very fun to go out there and beat them. Yes, sir.
Yep, and then as we were talking about, there were quite a few mistakes. Obviously the scoop and score leading to a touchdown for Belleville that gave them the lead. You guys were ultimately able to answer back and get the win. But kind of take us through the the mental fortitude of the game. Kind of a back and forth game, a lot of momentum swings and things like that. You're the one that's trusted with the ball the most. The ball's in your hand, especially on offense every single play. Take us through what those momentum swings were like and what those huddles were like to make sure that you guys kept your minds right and make sure that you're able to come away with the win here this evening.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of highs and lows, and after the scoop and score, I got a mouthful from Coach, but we turned around after that, and we pretty much dominated the whole second half except that scoop and score. Pretty much ran the ball the whole time and dominated them.
Yeah, and talk about the defense, because really the defense held Belleville in check. What went right for you guys on the defensive side of the ball? What adjustments did you see, and what things went right for you there?
Yeah, we lost 2 or 3 starters in the first half, so it was a little shaky at the first half after lost our guys, and then we got rolling, and they couldn't do nothing. We were just playing fast, having fun. Yes, sir.
Yep, and then, final question with Cuba City coming up next week. Week number 1, get the win and had to grind it out. What things are you going to be reflecting on getting ready for next week against the Cubans?
Yes, sir. Obviously, I'll be taking care of the ball a lot better, not fumbling. And we didn't take them very seriously last year in the first weeks, and got beat pretty bad. We'll keep level head and still play hard.
All right,
yes,
looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. We'll have you guys against the Cubans right here on 97.7 Country. Go enjoy this win. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, excellent. That's Toy Raggets and Nolan Hinkey joining us on our post-game show here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lancaster victorious 28-26. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back with our Herbst's Ace Hardware MVP, our Les Mack drive of the game, our Tricor Turning Point, and the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game. That's all coming up as we wrap up our post-game show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Post-game 1 minute.
Hello, Mitch here from Kieler Family Dental. There's never been a better time to explore what's possible for you and your family at our 3 state-of-the-art facilities. From routine dental care to same-day crowns to clear liners, veneers, and implants, we cover a wide spectrum of dental services. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
The Highland Truck and Tractor Pullers present the Highland Nationals Truck and Tractor Pull Saturday night at the Highland Rodeo Ground. This year's event includes Hot Farm, Super Farm tractors, Light Pros, 4.1 Limited Pro Stocks, and Pro Stock tractors. Food and beverage will be available, and this year DJ music in the beer garden. Action starts at 5 p.m. Admission is $20, 12 and under free. So bring the whole family to the Highland Nationals Truck and Tractor Pull this Saturday night at the Highland Rodeo Ground. Post-game 1 minute.
Back on the Reeves Wealth Management at Edward Jones post-game show on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lancaster victorious over Belleville 28-26 in week 1 of high school football in the state of Wisconsin. We're joined by Belleville head coach Mike Nolden. Coach, thanks for joining us. Coming up on the wrong end of the stick in this matchup, but a very back and forth game, a lot of momentum swings between both teams. Just kind of felt like Lancaster just got one more momentum swing than what you guys had here this evening. What's your reflection, immediately after game number 1 here tonight?
Yeah, obviously there's some frustration being on the losing end, and play 1, they run that trick play. It's frustrating because defensively we were preparing for it. It's hey guys, we hit one on them last year. They're gonna do something, and so it's frustrating there. It's frustrating to get an extra point blocked and then lose by 2. Ultimately, it's really frustrating. Like, we get the defensive score in the second half, but we had 3 drives and we had 9 plays.
Right.
And that's what ultimately, we just didn't execute enough. Our defense is on the field a little too long, and against an offense like that, just giving them 4 plays at a time, it affects your depth pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, it felt like early on, they run the trick play, they get the touchdown, and then the next possession results in an interception. They get another touchdown, maybe a bit of shell shock, initially, but then in that second quarter, 20 unanswered points, and, going to halftime with the lead. Take us through what happened in that second quarter, all the things that went right for you guys.
Well, it took a little bit of yelling. You wish it wouldn't, but it's, there's some guys first reps tonight on varsity.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little nervous. You just try to get them to calm down. Some kids do take the yelling. Sometimes you got to just tell a dad joke and get them to loosen up. We were struggling the other night in practice. I told the kids a dad joke, and all of a sudden our practice flipped. So it's different stuff you just try, and it's a little bit of trial and error during the game. It's like, hey, we got to do something, but we got to settle down, and just execute. And we've been executing really well in practice for 2 weeks. It's obviously the first game, so it's tough to replicate, the speed of that, but hopefully, the kids are a little more up to speed, and, it is fixable stuff that we can learn from. So frustrating, but, we can't get it back. We'll be better for it.
Yep, and talk about the second half a little bit. You mentioned, 3 possessions, 9 plays. How much of that was just the lack of offensive execution and the defense just unable to get off the field?
Well, I'm the offensive guy. I'm the one calling the plays. So for me, it's a lot more on the offense. You get a snap that rolls back, and we don't get the timing of our play that we're supposed to get. Now we're behind the chains a little bit, and, now we're kind of taking some chances that maybe I wouldn't really like to take. But, hey, I still think we got a chance to get this, but it's difficult. Obviously, you go 3 and out. We went 3 and out a couple times early. It's just that execution stuff that will get cleaned up.
Yep, definitely. And then looking ahead, I believe you guys have New Glarus next week. And, what are the things you're going to be emphasizing with your team heading into that next week matchup?
Well, next week is New Glarus. It's that team 8 miles down the road. There's some built up, a little, I'll say hatred, but it's one of those weird things where we pretend like we hate them, but we don't. But because some of those kids will play against them in football but run track with them. Well, they won't this year. It'll be different. But like wrestling, soccer, we co-op. So there's a weird little rivalry we got. The big thing is, hey, guys, it's New Glarus. There's going to be, some other stuff going on because we kind of have that rivalry. But ultimately, we're just playing a football game, and we got to prepare like we're playing a football game.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll probably run into you guys at some point during the regular season or the postseason. So thanks again for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yep, that's Mike Dolden, head coach of the Belleville Wildcats, kind enough to join us on our Reed's Wealth Management at Edward Jones post-game show. Jordan Rowland was also up here just a moment ago. We'll see if we can track him down, and there he is. So Coach Tolsman will surrender the headset to Coach Jordan Rowland. And, Coach, we were just talking a little bit ago as well. Certainly not the cleanest game by any means, but a win is definitely something to cherish through week 1 of the season. As you reflect on what happened in game number 1, stood out to you the most?
Surviving all our injuries, I guess. We were on our 6th DN. I know we practice depth and all that stuff. Especially this year, we don't like playing kids both ways, but we had a handful of kids that were playing both ways that also went down. So you're replacing a guy at guard and D-end, or guard and linebacker, or D-end and tight end and that stuff. And so just surviving, war on nutrition or whatever they call it, just surviving that. We lost, I think, 4 kids tonight on top of having a couple kids out from a scrimmage and a couple kids ineligible for grades and all that. So just kind of surviving was kind of the theme, I guess, of the night.
Yeah, definitely a lot of crutches during the post-game huddle that we've seen. I don't recall that many crutches being out on the field at one time. And, just talk about those adjustments that had to be made, too. Obviously, some players had to step up. And, early part in the season, you're obviously coaching your best players early on, hoping that they stay healthy. But, other guys had to jump in and answer the toll and step up in some roles that maybe they weren't expecting to see.
Oh, yeah, a lot. We had to change some stuff up front just because of the personnel that was in there, what they knew. The whole playbook, some of those younger guys, a lot of first, right? A lot of sophomores, a lot of first-year juniors and that kind of stuff playing their first game. So we had to change a lot of our play calls that we practiced all week just because of personnel and depth. But some seniors came up, stepped through. They were great leaders out there. Toy ran hard at the end. We got to have better ball security from both our running back and quarterback, but overall, can't be too upset with the outcome.
Yep, and then I want to ask you about the first offensive play of the game, the trick play that resulted in a touchdown. How often did you guys practice that particular play, and was that kind of the intent to come up with something creative early on to try and set the tone. It obviously worked to jump out to a 14 nothing lead. Take us through what went into designing that and what went into deciding to make that call first play out of the game.
Yeah, that's a play that we ran 3 years ago. First game against Mineral Point. We got caught at like the 10, so we practiced that. That one's one of our big ones that we run a lot. We're supposed to actually hit like a wheel down the sideline on that, but we kind of talked about it, just take the shot. Like we're just gonna go for one. They hit us. They took a shot first play of the game last year against us, and then they hit us with a trick play on the next series. So we were like, we're gonna try to get you back for that stuff, see if you're as disciplined, because we weren't disciplined last year in those moments, so we were going to check to see if they were. So, and, it was a great throw, great catch, so execution was good.
All right, Jordan Rowell with us on our post-game show. I want to ask about what you said during halftime, because Belleville scored 20 unanswered points in the second quarter. Your defense picks up a shutout. It was the scoop and score that resulted in the only score for Belleville in the second half. What adjustments were made and what things went right for you guys defensively in the second half?
Just like the kids that were in, the new kids that were in, they had time to like calm down and go through their reads. Just talk about, we got to walk through what they were doing, just because they weren't prepped to play and there was a lot of shocked faces. So we got to slow it down and just walk through what they needed to do, what their responsibilities were. So they're just playing. They executed better on defense, just did their job better than what they were doing in the first half. Because like the first quarter, we did a great job. Then we kind of had those injuries, and then there's 3-4 guys that had to move spots, and then our execution just kind of, fell out, and they had a couple big plays. That one right before half is that's tough. It's a tough look, especially in that situation. We knew we had to get off them with 12 seconds left in the half to then get that post on us. So, but yeah, that was the halftime was just slow it down for those kids that were kind of overwhelmed, and you could just see it in their eyes. They just needed a little positive reinforcement and just tell them it's going to be okay.
All right, awesome. And now Cuba City coming up next week. We'll have that game right here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Obviously, got to take inventory with all the injuries that happened here, but what are some of the points of emphasis you're going to have with your team heading into week number 2?
Well, it'll be the same thing. We have to establish the run better than what we did. We have to pass protect a little better up front. But, we have to be a team that establishes the run and be able to run, and then we have to stop the run. I haven't got to see much of Cuba. Obviously, we've played them twice last year, and last year in week 2, we went into a game that we were not prepared for. That shouldn't happen again. Even with the injuries, we'll be better prepared. As a coaching staff, we'll work a lot better this year for this game than what we did last year to get running clocked. So it won't be forgotten, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to seeing that one. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Go enjoy this win, and we'll see you guys next week against Cuba.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for covering our games.
Absolutely. You got it. That's Jordan Rowland, head coach of the Lancaster Flying Arrows, kind enough to join us on our post-game show. And Coach Scott Tolzman will put the headset back on as we have some post-game awards and features to get to before we close up shop here. Let's get to our Herbst's Ace Hardware Most Valuable Player of the Game. Herbst's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville, and Herbst's will be the MVP of your next project in your home. Go to Herbst's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. Which particular player stands out to you the most as our MVP tonight?
I'm going to say this time around it's going to be the quarterback.
Toy Raggets.
He led his team pretty well. Yes, he had a few mistakes, mental miscues, but he kept his composure and made some good decisions and kept some drives going, and it was a good win for him.
Yep, absolutely. So Toy Raggets will be our Herbst's Ace Hardware MVP of the game. The Les Mack Drive of the game brought to you by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service, because at Les Mack you always get more from less. If we look at the spirit for longest drive of the game, it would have been a turnover on downs in the second quarter. But the drive that really stood out to me would be the drive that bridged the third and fourth quarters that resulted in the go-ahead touchdown, the 4-yard touchdown run for Toy Raggets, a 9-play drive. Again, that was the touchdown that secured the win for Lancaster. Granted, there was still a lot of time on the clock, 9:49 left after the drive ended, but that drive, the go-ahead touchdown, that to me would be the drive of the game and also our tricolor turning point here tonight.
I definitely see it as a turning point, especially after doing that fumble, bad pitch, and Belleville's able to return.
Yeah, the scoop and score, yeah.
Scoop and score there. But I kind of like the idea of it was that drive right after halftime. They took the ball, Lancaster took the ball and drove it down and scored to go ahead, where sometimes you see teams that come out after halftime being down, they're flat, they go 3 and out, punt, and the next thing you know, they're scrambling. Lancaster didn't do it.
Yep, so the opening drive of the third quarter, the 8-play drive that resulted in the 29-yard touchdown run for Toy Raggets and the 2-point conversion, also key for Taylor Williams, pulling that one down. And the 2-point conversion, the 2 points that decided the game, essentially. So,
yes.
Yep, so that drive, we'll call our last smack drive of the game, and we mentioned our Tricor Turning Point, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. Now it's time to name the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game. It's the player whose hustle and scrappiness stood out and trying to lay the opponent to waste, presented by West End Salvage of Lancaster. I think a player that stands out to me just kind of because he's an underclassman and kind of had a key role. I'm going to go with Lucas Weber. Had that big interception that helped set up Lancaster's second touchdown of the game. He was kind of big in a bunch of areas, whether that be, punting the ball or, punt returning. He was kind of the guy that was in some big spots and asked to do some big things, especially with all the injuries that Lancaster had in the game.
Yes, I agree with you. I think he had a great game, did some great things. Besides that interception, he had a couple knockdowns, so he played well for his first game.
You have some big tackles in the run game, too, as well, holding Mr. Trey Myers to some minimal yardage on some key plays. So Lucas Weber, our West End Salvage Scrapper of the game here this evening. Let's do a final check on our Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Some final scores we can tell you about. Lancaster beats Benton Scales Mount Schulzberg 36-13. And the last update, Darlington was up on Platteville 63-33. There was 2:37 left over on X1071. And I believe this one went final. Potosi Cassville defeats Cuba City 27-6.
What was the first game that you said?
River Ridge beat Benton Scales Mountain Schulzberg 36-13.
He said Lancaster.
Oh, River Ridge. Oh, my bad.
So Lancaster had a split team then.
Yeah. Thanks for keeping me honest, Coach. Appreciate it. Let's see. Coming up on Tuesday, we have Tuesday night volleyball, our first volleyball game of the season. It will be Lancaster at River Ridge. That's probably where my head was at, and that's where I'll be. I'll be in Patch Grove on Tuesday night. We'll have that match right here on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And then coming up Thursday, as we said, Highland taking on Williams Bay in 8-player football, a Thursday night game over on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Raleigh Cheese pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. And then we will be right back here next Friday, Scott, for Lancaster taking on Cuba City. As Coach Jordan Rowland was talking about last year, it was a blowout win, a dominant win by Cuba City in that first matchup. I believe 45-0 was the final in that one. But for Lancaster tonight, obviously, as Coach mentioned, a lot of injuries, a lot of lower leg injuries that we saw here tonight. Maybe, hopefully, they're just cramps and hopefully nothing more. But ball security, obviously, a point of emphasis. And Lancaster, some things to clean up heading into week number 2.
That is correct. So if Lancaster can clean that stuff up, I think they're going to be a team that's going to be reckoned with, and it will be hard to beat.
Yep, absolutely. Other games that we'll have next week on Queen Bee Radio, we will also have Fenimore at River Ridge in non-conference action. That'll be on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. We'll also have Platteville at Mineral Point on X1071. Well, Coach, great to spend week number 1 with you on this Friday night here in Lancaster. A fun back-and-forth game, a lot of momentum swings, and definitely put us to the test on our football prowess here tonight. I will say well played as far as a competitive standpoint, but obviously there's mistakes and miscues that both teams are going to emphasize and work on. You kind of expect those kind of things in week number 1, but an outstanding ball game here in week number 1.
Yes, it was, and you're right. Some of these mistakes will get cleaned up, it's the first game jitters, and as they get moving on through the season, you won't see as many of those things.
Yep, definitely. Looking forward to seeing what week number 2 brings for us as well. Thanks to Brett Rollins and the entire staff here at Lancaster High School for being gracious hosts, as always, helping us get set up for our radio and video stream here this evening. Both head coaches as well, Jordan Rolland of Lancaster and Mike Nolden of Belleville, joining us for pregame and postgame interviews as well. Thanks to all of our sponsors who help us bring high school sports to you, and thank you for listening and watching along. This has been Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country, WGLR FM Lancaster, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Once again, your final score, Lancaster defeats Belleville 28-26. Lancaster goes to 1-0. They host Cuba City next week. Belleville goes to 0-1. They take on New Glarus in week number 2. From the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, for Scott Tolzman, I'm Tyler Dictanis. Thanks so much for joining us, and good night from Lancaster High School.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
The Tri-State's best variety of country. 97.7 Country, WGLR FM. Lancaster. Serving Platteville, Dubuque, Galena, and beyond. On WGLR.com. A Queen Bee radio station.